You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 what it do? Good, great, grand morning to y'all, man. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. What it do, what it do. What it do, what it do. Let's get right to it, man. We had to miss a late stream because we had some discrepancies with the ISP, you know what I'm talking about? And the service provider was tripping. But hopefully we straight now, so let's see if we can get it right. You know, we need the yesterday's problems in yesterday, you know what I'm talking about? We don't bring them into today. Bring yesterday's problems in yesterday. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. All right, so we are here, man. We are here. You know, as always, we want to start the stream off on a good foot, and the best foot is to be followed behind Christ. So let's get to it, man. Please bow your heads and join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for waking us up to see this bright and beautiful Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week, of the work week, Lord. And please continue to keep us feeling a sensation of blessings, feeling a sensation of love, feeling a sensation of joy. And please keep us away from, let us repel that feeling of depression and sadness and despair, Lord. Sometimes we get overwhelmed by a situation, particular situation that we're in. But Lord, as long as we've been living on your on your green earth, and we know that we've been in terrible situations before, difficult situations before, and you saw us through. You allowed us to overcome, permitted us to keep going, and made a path for us to clear the path for us to conquer. So no matter what we're going through, no matter what situation we're in, no matter how we feel mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, as long as we keep our eyes set on you and our spirit in a positive and a positive one. Keep our spirit as positive as possible, that we can get through anything, Lord. And sometimes we go through a waiting period because we are anticipating an end goal or a dream or milestone so much that we kind of get discouraged and lost, Lord. But if we look at, some of the people in the Bible, the stories of the Bible, a lot of people waited a long time. A lot of prominent people waited a long time. David waited 12 years before he made it to what he was supposed to be, till he fully blossomed. Noah waited, I think, 120 years. So, not saying that we want to wait a long time, but please help us with our patience and bless us financially, spiritually, mentally, and physically, in Jesus' name, and emotionally. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. So yesterday we had some stuff I wanted to talk about. I didn't get into it, man. As you see the topic, we got some David crime, and the crime scene almost happened a little earlier because, the fight was is scheduled for February 1st in 2025, good Lord willing. So some months away. But there was stuff seemingly about to go down at the face-off. I thought it was interesting, But before we get to that, man, I want to talk about Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer has been talking again. Before we were saying that Tevin Farmer was a little skeptical about the lack of drug tests that were being offered or not offered, the ones that weren't administered, right? Because he said, according to him, he signed up for drug tests and they weren't administered for his match with Zepeda. They were administered before, but as they got closer to the fight, they did not have the drug test, and he even asked about it. And I think that's ridiculous when a fighter has to ask about the test that they signed up for. It should be spontaneous. It should be, and it should be on time, and it should be, something that should be done and executed properly, And now I'm not saying that Zepeda cheated. I don't think he cheated. It should be he looked the same in all his fights. And but that doesn't mean he's not cheating in all his fights. You know what I'm saying? But people, it's according to people, PEDs you wouldn't know, right? That's what people say in other situations. So I just think it's important for a peace of mind, because then it makes you wonder. It's like, dang, man, we didn't get tested. I don't know if the guy that I was fighting was clean or not. I know I'm clean, but you know what I'm saying? So Tevin Farmer should be tested, and Zepeda should have been tested, and that just makes you wonder a little bit, makes you a little suspicious and a little less trusting of the powers that be, especially when it comes to Golden Boy, because there's always some issue with testing when it comes to Golden Boy promotion. This is another one. But with all that being said, Tevin Farmer, who fought a good fight, he came up on the losing end, and I thought it was right. I had Zepeda winning by 1 point, 95-94, a total of 6 rounds to 4, but Tevin Farmer dropped him, I think in the 4th round. And I thought that I didn't think it was a robbery. I had Zepeda winning 95-94, but it could have went either way because I did have 2 swing rounds, and both those swing rounds I gave to Zepeda. So it could have went either way, like it was a split decision, but I personally believe the right person won. However, Tevin Farmer has said this on the internet. He says Zepeda is too much for Farmer. He's too strong. He gonna stop Farmer. Fuck is wrong with you people? Laugh aloud. Rematch coming soon. Big dog 2. So basically what he's saying right here. He's mocking the people and their prognostications and their predictions, before the fight. People were saying that, Zepeda's too much for Farmer. He's too strong. He's going to stop Farmer. And he's showing that he knocked him down. But this is the part that stuck out. He said, rematch coming soon. Big dog 2. Now, I don't know if the rematch is going to happen. I wouldn't mind seeing the rematch, but I don't want to see it right now because why? We want to see Zepeda and Shakur, right? You know what I'm saying? We want to see Zepeda versus one of the champions. However, this will lead to one of my next points. February 22nd, Riyadh season. It's supposed to be a big card, right? It's supposed to have Zepeda and Shakur on there. But what have I always said? I said I won't believe it until Zepeda and Shakur are in the ring and that first round bell goes ding. I'm not going to believe it, bro. Because what if Farmer's not capping and he does have a rematch with Zepeda? Or, remember, they said that he got robbed the second time. The first time being against Raymond Muratalla, which I thought that was a closer fight that he could have won. I did think he could have won that fight. Maybe he's talking about that rematch. He didn't really specify which rematch, but, I mean, the clues and the common sense would lead you to believe that he's talking about the rematch with Zepeda because he showed the Zepeda fight, but you never know. It could be any rematch, virtually, anybody that he fought before, but I think the context clues and common sense would lead you to believe that he's talking about Zepeda. So I don't know, man. We'll see, man. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch, but just not right now. We got my boy Mike in the building, man. Long time no see, man. I feel like I haven't been seeing you lately, bro. What's good with you, brethren? But yeah, man. So I just think that's funny. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Like I said, I thought it was a very close fight. I thought Tevin Farmer did a hell of a job. He fought a great fight, man. I just wish he would have been a little bit more active. If he would have been a little more active, I think he could have won. But I thought it was a payday. Shout out to him. He overcame a knockdown and bounced back. And that's what you want to see out of fighters. You know what I'm saying? Them overcoming, them facing adversity and overcoming said adversity. So, you know, that is what it is, man. So moving on. We have, of course, we've seen Jake Paul, right? And what happened with Mike Tyson, right? The phenomena of which is Jake Paul, right? Well, we had Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall, those of you that are unfamiliar with Oliver McCall, I believe he's 59 years old, but most importantly, he is a former adversary of Lennox Lewis. He actually stopped Lennox Lewis in 94, I believe, you know, to win a title. And of course, Lennox Lewis avenged that loss because of Lennox Lewis is one of the few fighters to have beaten everybody he shared the ring with, you know, whether he drew with them first or lost them first, he bounced back and spun the block and won, right? So he beat Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall beat Lennox Lewis by knockout, and he just fought again yesterday, right? And look at the fight here, man. Look at the fight here. But even more important than the fight, look at him, bro. He's in pretty good shape now. But he fought a guy. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing, man? Come on, man. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like, to be fair, like, look at this dude, bro. He doesn't really look like he's knocked out or hurt too bad. He just looks like he's struggling to get up. He don't know where the ropes are, bro. Nah, bro. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, to me, the harder part for him seemed like the ropes. Locating the ropes. Forget the punches. It seemed like the part that was the most difficult was him trying to find the ropes, man. That was Stacy Frazier, who's 54 years old, right? And I don't mind it, man. Shout out to them. You know, but the problem for a lot of people, like my boy B-Dog and some other people who don't like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Who uncles is that? My boy Dub in the building. So this is where the problem arises. Those that don't want to see these type of fights, including myself, it's going to be encouraged. Why? Because Oliver McCall, after beating 54-year-old Stacy Frazier, whose hardest part to me was not the punch that knocked him down, but actually getting back up after being knocked down on the canvas. This Oliver McCall went on and called out Jake Paul. He called out Jake Paul, and he's 59 years old, right? And like I said, to me, it doesn't bother me because, like I said, I see this as the pure entertainment part of boxing. I don't see this as, you know, a reflection of boxing in any means. Like, I don't see this as a reflection of boxing any more than the All-Star Celebrity Game is a reflection of the NBA basketball or NBA level basketball. So I don't have a problem with it, but I understand people who do have a problem with it because now it seems like this will be even more encouraged. So I don't know, man. Like I said, he called out Jake Paul. Nothing wrong with calling out Jake Paul, but to me, what's more impressive, and I cannot knock Jake Paul. I cannot knock the man because you got to respect the hustle, man. Not only does this man, he just fought Mike Tyson. He's getting more love than boxing, the actual boxers, and he's not even actually boxing against boxers. He's fighting celebrities, athletes like Nate Robinson, Nate Diaz, and Ben Askren, Tyron Williams, some more shit. He just, like I say, he just shared the ring with the iconic legend Mike Tyson and broke records on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? But not all that. Getting paid, has his own promotional company. Not only does he have Beterbiev calling him out, undisputed light heavyweight champion. He has Dubois calling him out, heavyweight champion. Now he has former heavyweights, former boxers calling him out. So he has current boxers, former boxers, celebrities, and athletes calling him out. Come on now. So it's just like, how can you knock it, bro? You doing this thing, and like I said, I don't think it's bad for boxing unless you confuse that with actual boxing. If you don't confuse it with actual boxing, you can separate the two, then I don't see the problem, man. I don't see the problem at all. And yeah, man, shout out to Oliver McCall for getting his win at 59 years old against Stacey Frazier, who's 54. But I think he should stay away from Jake Paul because, like I said, you know, he looks in good shape for 59 years old, but he looks in good shape for 59 years old or 60 years old, not for a young man. So, but to each his own, man. Let him get paid if he wants to get paid, man. If he wants to get paid, he wants to get paid. But another thing that happened as well, because of that, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, guess who called out somebody as well? Somebody wants to get into it as well. Dwight Superman 2 Howard. Because, you know, Superman 1 is Shaquille O'Neal, the Diesel, right? So he called out Shaq and said, hey, let's make some bread together. Because, you know, they have their beef, you know, they're back and forth and stuff like that for as long as they've been having careers, you know. And some people think that Shaq is hating on Dwight. I think it's a little bit of hate. But at the same time, you know, Dwight Howard had a lot of similarities and would seem to be welcoming the comparisons, you know, with Shaquille O'Neal because he followed a lot of his footsteps, and you should, because Shaquille O'Neal's a successful big man. If you're gonna idolize anybody or have somebody as a role model or follow the footsteps of somebody in your position, then it would be Shaquille O'Neal. So I think Shaquille O'Neal should have took it more as a compliment as opposed to feeling threatened or offended that he was trying to mimic him. You know, I think copying and mimicking is the best form of flattery, right? But, you know, at the same time, everybody takes things how they want to take, because he doesn't. I do think when people exaggerate when they say he hates all big men, I don't think he does. But, you know, everybody's not going to get along with everybody. But anyway, you know, the similarities in their career. Shaq started in Orlando. Dwight Howard started in Orlando. They both went to the finals and came up short in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? Shaq went to the finals, came up short in Orlando against the Houston Rockets. Dwight Howard went to the finals, came up short against in Orlando against the Kobe Bryant Lakers, you know. And then what did he do? Shaq, after he left Orlando, he went to LA to join the Lakers. What did Dwight Howard do after he left Orlando? He went to LA and joined the Lakers. And what did they both play? They played the position of a center. And when they both played center, who was considered the most dominant force at the center position? It was Shaquille O'Neal and Dwight Howard. So there's a lot of similarities. Of course, Shaq's a much better player, but Dwight Howard is a formidable force as well. So there goes a lot of similarities there. So you could think that Shaq thought that his throne was threatened by Dwight Howard, you know, in a lot of people's eyes. That's how he felt, you know. That's not to give him an excuse, but it's just a little justification. So there, so Dwight Howard challenged Shaq, and of course Shaq said, "Hey man," he turned it down, but he had to throw a shot while he turned him down. He said, "I only fight guys with multiple rings." And then they asked him again live on TNT yesterday. He said, "I only fight guys that are in the top 75. So just say no, brother. You know what I'm saying? I thought it's funny, but it's petty, you know. But yeah, so it's just bringing up more celebrity fights. And if Shaq and Dwight Howard did fight, I would watch it, but I wouldn't think that's reflective of real boxing. So that's why I say, like, so if you're able to separate and look at Shaq versus Dwight the same as in the same boat or a category as you see Jake Paul versus whoever he's fighting, then I don't see how it could be bad for boxing. You know, if you're confused with Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson with David Benavidez versus David Morrell, then I understand why you're offended by it. Now, if Jake Paul gets a title shot, if he does fight David Dubois for the championship, or if he does fight Beterbiev for the light heavyweight championship, or he does fight Canelo, then I can understand the complaints, you know. But at this point, he's not. And even if he does fight him, then it's still going to be on a big stage, and you know the undercard is going to be good. So I just feel like it does more good than bad for boxing. But at the same time, people don't like it. I don't like it either. I don't watch his fights either, so I can understand not liking it. But I think sometimes people go overboard when talking about what they don't like and what's actually bad. I don't think it's bad for boxing, but I don't like it either. You know, there's a lot of things I don't like. I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad. I don't like onions. Are onions bad because I don't like it? No, there's a lot of people that do like onions, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I almost cried watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, but, you know, I'm talking about, see what I did there? But, yeah, I just think that, you know, we just got to know how to draw the line between the two. My guy, Dub said he wants me to play that video again. I got you, bro. Give me a second. Let me play it again one more time for my boy. He said he wants to see that Oliver McCall and Stacey Frazier get slumped. That's crazy. Why you want to see this man get slumped again, bro? See, you see, this man likes to hey, the nearest nursing home and old folk home gotta be in they gotta be on the lookout for Dub. Dub might be going there trying to punish people. I don't know why you want to see this again. I'm telling you, bro. Look, like I said, the punches knocked him down, but it seemed like he had more trouble getting up. Look how he got dropped. Look how he got dropped. He literally sits down.
Oh, he went down again with that big clubbing right hand. Clubbing right, and Frazier hits the canvas again. Yeah, Frazier is gas right now. Terribly. He's out. He's out. And this fight is over. Score the...
This man had more trouble locating the ropes, bro, and trying to get up than he did handling the punch, bro. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy as well, man. Smack that like button ASAP right now. You know what I'm talking about? Before I call all of them a call to smack you. You know what I'm saying? You and your granddaddy. You know, they're about the same age. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. So I just want to talk about that. But and also, let's talk about, speaking of Beterbiev calling out Jake Paul, let's talk about what we want to see, what I want to see when it comes to Beterbiev and Jake Paul, right? I mean, when it comes to Beterbiev, not Jake Paul, but when it comes to Beterbiev. So I want to show y'all this right here, man. I dropped a video on it. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? But we may have a date for Beterbiev and Bivol. You know, we may have a date and a location and a place and the undercard. You know what I'm saying? So this is a good possibility. Check it out, man. Listen to Eddie Hearn talk about February 22nd, the potential game-changing date in Riyadh season, man. The next endeavor. Check it out.
It's the best card I've seen in Riyadh. Wow. It really is. You know.
You do wow.
It's the best.
He must have practiced that wow in the mirror. Listen to what he said. Wow.
Card I've seen in Riyadh. Wow. It really is.
He rehearsed that wow.
Card I've seen in Riyadh. Wow. It really is.
Wow.
You know, obviously now the card's done. I think a lot of fights are agreed in principle. Contracts have to get signed, so we'll leave it to His Excellency to announce. I don't think it will be too far away. Agreed in principle.
I want y'all to pay attention to this part.
Obviously now the card's done. I think a lot of fights.
The card is done. That's what he said. The card is done. Pay attention now. This how they sneak you. The card is done, is what he said.
Agreed in principle.
The fights have been agreed in principle. Now watch how he follows it up.
Contracts have to get signed, so we'll leave. Contracts have to get signed, so 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 contracts have to get signed, so.
Did you hear what he said? He said that the card is finalized. The fights are situated, but contracts have to get signed. Who do you think is holding up the contracts being signed, chat? Do you think it's Shakur? Do you think it's Eddie Hearn, considering that he knows that the card is finalized and he knows that the situation's already settled? I don't think it's Eddie Hearn. You know who I think it is? William Zepeda? Yes, sir. Oscar De La Hoya? Yes, sir. Virgil Ortiz? Yes, sir. Golden Boy Promotions? Yes, sir. You know, it's Golden Boy and all its affiliates, bro. So I told y'all, bro, I would not believe Zepeda versus Shakur until they're both in the ring and the first bell goes ding. Because, like I told you with Tevin Farmer, talk about a potential rematch. We have another article I was reading and I heard Zepeda talk about, oh, I'm going to take whichever offers best for me. I seen that Tank has shown interest in me. I seen the other champions have shown interest in me. What other champions, bro? Berinchyk? Lomachenko? And Tank, like Lomachenko's contemplating retirement, supposedly. Tank is fighting Lamont Roach, supposedly. Dennis Berinchyk is lined up for Keyshawn Davis, supposedly. So what other champions are you talking about that's showing interest in you, brother? Go fight Shakur, man. But the contracts have to be signed. Let's keep it going.
Fights are agreed in principle. Contracts have to get signed, so we'll leave it to His Excellency to announce. I don't think it will be too far away. But it's incredible when you look at this fight, this card from top to bottom. I think it's the best yet.
Well, I mean,
he said he thinks that this card, February 22nd, the Riyadh season, is the best yet. And I tell you, that is not a small proclamation. That is not something to just say whimsically. That's a big statement because we've seen Undisputed, the first undisputed heavyweight in the last quarter century in 25 years. That was Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. That was in Riyadh. We saw Knockout Chaos. That was in Riyadh. Oh, by the way, another undisputed light heavyweight this time in that division by Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. That was in Riyadh. Oh, by the way, we had Day of Reckoning. That was in Riyadh. Oh, by the way, we had the 5v5. That was on Riyadh. You know, I'm not going to name all of them, but for this card, for him to say that's the best, man, that's a big statement. We got Moda Flocka in the building. What's good, brethren? So that's a big statement.
debut episode. Let's break some news. Can we get one? Can you give us a morsel? He won't be mad. He loves us.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, you know that Shakur against the feeder's already been discussed for that card, and you know, I think that.
So he mentioned Shakur and Zepeda on the card. And he's going to go into something else, which I think is very interesting.
For me, I want to see Bivol rematch Beterbiev.
Oh,
You know, I believe that was.
He said he wants to see Bivol rematch Beterbiev. Notice how he thought about it first, and then he said what he phrased it. He wants to see. What if that happens, chat?
I want to see Bivol rematch Beterbiev.
Look how he pauses.
You know, I think that for me, I want to see Bivol rematch Beterbiev.
He had to think about it for a long time to phrase it properly, to not, spoil anything, because he just mentioned Big Turk. He said, Turkey will make the official announcements. But for me, I want to see Beterbiev and Bivol. Now, I think that's very important. I broke it down in the video, and I don't want to, I don't want to, go check out the video. I'm not gonna tell you exactly how I broke it down. But for those of you that pay attention to boxing, you know that Beterbiev is Muslim. And being Muslim, you practice Ramadan, right? And Ramadan is observed from February 28th, the end of February, to the end of March 30th, right? Well, February 22nd will be right before Ramadan. We know Beterbiev doesn't want to fight during Ramadan. And Riyadh season, it goes from October to March, right? So in order for him to fight in Riyadh season, which the undisputed rematch would no doubt undoubtedly be in Riyadh season, he would have to wait. A lot of us thought that it was going to be October 2025, essentially a year from when they actually fought the first time. And then, Eddie Hearn didn't want to wait that long. A lot of people didn't want to wait that long. A lot of fans, myself included. But I understand, I think it's important that you stick to your customs and your morals and your values and stuff like that. And you uphold your, be disciplined. And Beterbiev, from what I know, seems very disciplined. But February 22nd is right before Ramadan, and it's at the end of Riyadh season. So this fight could potentially happen in February 22nd. So now let's talk about the potential card that could happen on February 22nd. Obviously, Shakur Zepeda, Beterbiev and Bivol rematch. Then Hamza Shiraz says he's fighting on February 22nd. I dropped a video on that. Go check it out. He'll be fighting Carlos Adames for a championship fight. Who else has been rumored? Bam Rodriguez is rumored to be fighting on there. His opponent to be announced, probably the old man and Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. But that's who is rumored to be. It could be somebody else, but he's rumored to be. He's said to be on that card. And then Virgil Ortiz and Jerome Boots Ennis are said to be on that card, fighting each other. And then Daniel Dubois is said to be on that card. Initially supposed to be against Anthony Joshua, but his opponent to be announced. We're thinking that it's going to be Ajit Kabayel. I'll drop that video on that as well, so go check it out. So, man, that card could be great, man. I don't think Eddie's capping. I think that card could be great already, but if you add Bivol and Beterbiev to it, man, that is wild, bro. That would be crazy, bro. But that's enough about that card, what I'm saying? Go check out the video. I go into it further detail. I dropped that video last night. Go check it out. Go like that video, by the way. But let's talk about, enough of the hypothetical cards. Let's talk about the card that we know is going down February 1st, 2025. David Morrell versus David Benavidez, David Benavidez versus David Morrell. I watched this yesterday and I said, gosh, dang, man, my boy looking healthy. My boy looking chunky, ain't it? I want to show y'all this, man. My boy David Benavidez looking healthy, boy. God. This is them at the face-off, man. He told him get out the way. Right, they gentlemen, man. They men. Bro, David Morrell like I said, bro. I said this and I will say it again. I said this all the time and I'll say this again, man. David Benavidez, he just doesn't look like his body fits the light heavyweight division as well as Morrell does. He just looks a little saggy in the body. David Benavidez used to be a fat kid, overweight, obese. He got into boxing and got into shape. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I think this is a good thing for him. But I'm just saying, as far as physique goes, I always thought David Morrell looked like he'll get more acclimated to the weight division, the weight class, a little better than David Benavidez does. So I think that boy looked a little healthy. But I think that's a good thing, because I think he but I think he's going to use his weight like he normally does at 168 to impose his presence on David Morrell. Now, David Morrell's physique indicates that he's going to be more athletic, and I don't think anybody will argue who's a more athletic person or specimen. You know what I'm saying? I think that his physique demonstrates that, and his fighting style and his previous fights demonstrate that as well. David Morrell is definitely the more athletic one, but David Benavidez, he's not a slouch in the athletic department, you know. So man, I think this fight is very interesting. I always thought it was. At 168, I always said I thought David Benavidez wins, but at 175, I lean towards Morrell. But man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that you know, it's still 3 months out, right? It's out to February, so he said if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Benavidez getting that dub, ain't no wrong being wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's your prediction. Yeah, I think David Benavidez, I think it's a real good fight, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, going into it at 175, I lean towards Morrell, but at 168, I always thought David Benavidez would win. But just 175, I feel like just from what I saw against Hot Rod Kaladzic and David Morrell, and what I saw with David Benavidez and Alexander Gvozdyk, I thought that Morrell, I'm not gonna say his performance was better than Benavidez. It was about the same, and Benavidez was fighting the tougher opponent in Gvozdyk than Hot Rod Kaladzic. But I do think that I liked how he looked physically, Morrell. How he looked physically compared to David Benavidez. He looked a little soggy, but hey, he won against Gvozdyk, and I'm not sure if Morrell at 175 will be as difficult as a fight as Alexander Gvozdyk. You know what I'm saying? I know Gvozdyk, a lot of people sleep on him, but he was a former champion, and he was just gone for a little bit. Then he came back, was on a 3-fight win streak, I believe, before he fought Benavidez. So I think this fight is good, man. I don't know who's going to win. I think it's 50-50. I don't think it's 50-50. I take that back. I lean towards, I'm still going to stand, for now, I'm still going to stay with my initial pick of Morrell. But if I had to use my mind and put my money on it, I would say I would lean 60-40 in favor of David Benavidez, man. But yeah, but not even just that, though. Let's talk about the card, though. So even in addition to that little face-off, we had the card that was announced yesterday. Well, it was announced before. We talked about it before, but it was officially announced by PBC, you know, in an official capacity by PBC. The David Morrell, the David Benavidez card, and I think it's a great card, bro. I think it's fire. It's a fire card. And of course, they had their face off yesterday. I think this card is great, man. So of course, we have the headliner being David Benavidez versus David Morrell. Fantastic fight. Shout out to both men for making that fight happen in their primes. They don't have to. They don't have to make this fight happen. Like I said, the risk outweighs the reward for both men, especially for Benavidez. But they're making it happen just for the fans. So big salute to them. I don't know how people could dislike David Benavidez. You know, shout out to him. But, you know, on the undercard, you have Brandon Figueroa, who's been elevated to a champion because Ray Vargas was stripped for inactivity, I guess, or unwillingness to defend his belt. So Figueroa is a champion. He'll be fighting Stephen Fulton. This will be a rematch. The first time they fought was at 122, you know, a weight class below, and Fulton won. You know, this time is at 126, you know, and I like what Fulton was saying. Fulton was saying, man, yeah, you know, Figueroa thinks he's the best at 126. I personally believe Rafael Espinosa is the best at 126 El Divino, but Figueroa is a good fighter. But Fulton was like, hey, man, you know, they think he thinks he's the best. He got better. Hey, I got better. At 126, I throw more punches. I sit on my punches more. I'm stronger. You know, I'm more active. You know, I was being drained at 122, essentially, is what he's alluding to. So I think it's a good fight. I may be wrong, but I lean towards Figueroa in this fight. I lean towards Brandon Figueroa over Stephen Fulton. But we'll see, man. You know, the reason why I do is because he had to fight against Castro, and I know there's nothing wrong with getting dropped, but I just think if Castro could drop you, Figueroa could drop you. But like I said, the advantage would slightly go to Fulton, right? Because I think Fulton's not slightly, the advantage in the rematch always goes to the better boxer, and I think Fulton's a better boxer. I know he's a better boxer as far as boxing skills goes over Brandon Figueroa. So there's some advantages for Figueroa. I think he's more fitting for 126 than Fulton, at least in the one fight that we saw of Fulton, which might not be completely fair, might be a little premature to make a assessment off of one fight at 126. But so Fulton has the advantage of being the better boxer and having the rematch, and the rematch usually benefits the better boxer. And yeah, I think he has something to prove, so he's going to be motivated. But Figueroa also has something to prove, so you know he's going to have that fire burning to want to get his get back. So that's going to be a good fight, man. I really don't know who's going to win. I really think that's a 50-50 fight. You know, I'm leaning towards Brandon Figueroa though. And then the next fight we have is Isa Pitbull Cruz. You know, he just came off a loss to Jose Rayo Valenzuela, the Lightning, man, and he'll be fighting against Alex Fierro. That's going to be a good fight. Alex Fierro is a formidable fighter. We'll see if Isa Pitbull Cruz can get back on the winning train. And, you know, Eastside Pitbull Cruz is one of my favorite fighters to watch. So I know it's going to be action-packed. I know he's one-dimensional, but that's a tough dimension to deal with. Pressure, relentless pressure, and more pressure. You know what I'm saying? More fight up, more pressure. You know what I'm talking about? So he doesn't get hurt. He's very durable. But, you know, his punch selection isn't the best. His variety when it comes to his toolkit, you know, his boxing repertoire is not too extensive. You know, he doesn't really go too deep in his bag, right? He just throws hooks and more hooks. So we call him Captain Hook. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good fight. And then the fight that I'm looking forward to for real is Jesus Ramos Jr., man. We just saw Abel Ramos, his uncle, go against Mario Barrios in a fantastic fight on the undercard of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, which is one of the reasons why I think it's good for boxing, because it's putting on real boxers if you pay attention, you know. We saw Mario Barrios go fight to a draw with his uncle, Abel Ramos. So now we have Jesus Ramos at 154, man, which is one of the best divisions, in my opinion. It's the best division, the most fire division. He'll be going against Jason Banana Rosario. Initially, you know, there was some rumors about Jermell Charlo returning and fighting Jesus Ramos, which I thought that would have been crazy as a comeback fight off a long hiatus. And you're going to come back after a long hiatus and coming off of a loss to Canelo, you know what I'm saying, a long period of time he was off, and you were coming off a loss, and you're going to go in and hop in and fight Jesus Ramos. I was like, boy, that would have been too impressive. I would be like, man, Jermell Charlo is definitely a beast. But, I mean, he's still a beast anyway, but that's not happening. You know, it'd be Jesus Ramos Jr. versus Jason Rosario, who Jason Rosario, Jermell Charlo beat already. But that's going to be a good fight right there. I think it's going to be an action-packed fight, man. And I'm leaning towards Jesus Ramos Jr. But 154 is a great division, man. Let me pull up this card for you to see. Here it is right here. So we got David Benavidez versus David Morrell, Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton, Pitbull versus Fierro, Jesus Ramos versus Jason Rosario, man. The Dub said tough fights back to back. Facts, man. Big fights back to back, man. That's gonna be a great card, man. It might not be a great card for casuals, but if you really be about that boxing life, this is a great card, man. A fantastic card, man. So shout out to PBC for coming through again. That's the February 1st, 2025. Good Lord willing. I know Floyd Mayweather said it's the best card. I can't say it's the best card of 2025. It's just the first card of 2025. You know, I don't know. You might be reaching with the best card. I mean, it's the first card that we know of. So I don't know if I could call it the best. You know, it's in February, for Christ's sake. I can't say it's the best, but it's definitely a great card. You know, especially if that Riyadh season is coming to February 22nd and it has, man, if it has 3 of the 5 fights that I named, that card would be better than this card, you know. But this is still a great card. So it's still a great card. But the silver lining in that is that we see Floyd Mayweather back working with PBC and pubbing PBC. So that's good. You know, hopefully they mend their relationship, which always happens. You know, I'm pretty sure that Floyd and Tank will probably mend their relationship as well. That's probably coming in the near future. But I think that's a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Because you could hate on Floyd all you want. Floyd is a hell of a businessman. So. You know, and he's definitely one of the smartest fighters in and out the ring when it comes to promoting himself and building finances and all this stuff and establishing wealth and revenue generation. So, you know, shout out to Floyd Mayweather, shout out to PBC, and more boxers, more boxing, man. So let's get right. JC says, what happened to Pitbull versus Rayo? Hey, just not happening, man. It's Alex Fierro's getting it. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of times we think that this is like things are a lot of times we think that things are fully finalized, and a lot of times we're thinking that too prematurely. You know, I think that you know, for whatever reason the fight didn't happen. I don't know. I could you know, remember JC, I'm gonna remind you, remember that Rayo, remember Rayo and Jose Benavidez Sr., they had a breakup, right? And who do you know is on PBC? Well, his son, not just his son, but both his sons. And I think it's not even an assumption, right? They came out and said it. Jose Benavidez Sr. said that Rayo was on PBC because of him. And now his son is headlining the card. So you don't mix business with family, and business isn't always loyal, but sometimes there is loyalty in business and business partners. So, you know, David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Sr., they always brag about how good PBC is and how well they treat him. Maybe because Rayo seemingly left Jose Benavidez Sr. with a sour taste in his mouth, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't an amicable split, right? It seemed a little contentious. maybe they sided with Jose Benavidez Sr. That could be a possibility. I don't know. I'm just speculating now. But Isaac Pitbull Cruz is with PBC and he's secured, so we know it's not an issue there. I would think Isaac Cruz would want the rematch, or maybe he didn't want the rematch, because the rematch clause was on his side. So you just never know with this business stuff, man. And but remember that Rayo, once again, it shows you that people are mad at Tank for not fighting Rayo and fighting Lamont Roach instead. Well, this is indicative of him trying to fight Rayo, and Rayo turned it down. Why did Robert Garcia turn it down? He said, because we have a Pitbull rematch. Oh, well, I guess there's no rematch. I bet that Tank fight looking pretty good now, huh? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at Rayo for not taking that, because like I said, it would have been a quick turnaround. He just came off of a tough, grueling fight against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. So I'm not mad at him for turning it down. But when people jump to these conclusions and say, oh, this person could fight this person's available, this person's not available, bro, you don't know, bro. Unless you're in the meetings, unless you're like you're there walking hand in hand, or you reading some meeting minutes, or you're there, you're a fly on the wall, you don't know. It's all speculation, man. Sometimes you speculate correctly, while a lot of times you speculate incorrectly. Just say the facts, bro. And the facts was Pitbull had a rematch clause that if he exercised, Rayo would have been obligated to oblige. And then now, that's a big if. I mean, that's a hypothetical. It's not a big if, but it's an if. And then obviously now we thought Isaac Pitbull Cruz was going to use it. Everybody thought he was going to use it. They seemed like they were in conversations about using it, and now it's not being used. But who saw Rayo and Jose Benavidez Sr. splitting? So he says Rayo getting blackballed. I mean, I could be. I don't know. I have no clue. Like I say, I don't know. Once again, I always tell you what I know, and I tell you what I don't know. I do not know if he's being blackballed. I don't know if that's the reason why the rematch is not there. I'm saying that's a possibility, because if you saw some interviews with Jose Benavidez Sr., he has said that, and he was asked specifically what's up with Rayo's future with the PBC, and they if I'm not mistaken, you introduced him and got him into that situation. He was like, yeah, I did. He said, and I rock with PBC heavy, so we'll see where the loyalty lies, and I'm not saying anything one way or the other, but he said, yeah, man, I'm the one that got him into that situation. For him to do me and to seem to just throw me away like that, yeah, Jose Benavidez Sr., he seemed very hurt about Rayo. So we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that goes, man. All right, so it's just very interesting, man. Very interesting turn of events, very interesting sequence of events. But either way, Pitbull versus Rayo, that's a great rematch. I'd love to see it. Pitbull versus Angel Fierro is a good fight too. Even though Angel Fierro is coming off a loss, he's coming off a loss to Alfred Santiago, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing that. But it was a decision loss. It wasn't like a knockout or anything. So Fierro is a pretty good fighter in my opinion. So we will see. I think this fight is good, and yeah, man, I think David Morrell versus David Benavidez is a great card, man, and that's just crazy. But me personally, I'm still enamored by the possibility of the freaking February 22nd Riyadh season card that Eddie Hearn was talking about, man. That is crazy. If we could get Beterbiev and Bivol on that, oh man, with Shakur Zepeda, with Daniel Dubois and his opponent probably Caballel, with Bam Rodriguez and his opponent probably Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, which I'm not looking forward to. I prefer it be like Fernando Martinez or something like that, but for Fernando Martinez, that's not possible because he's fighting on 31st against Kazuto Ioka. So but yeah, I'd rather see Bam Rodriguez fight Fernando Puma Martinez or Fumaleli Cafu, both undefeated champions in his division at 115, excuse me. But even still, if Bam Rodriguez is fighting Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez is a legend. He's going to bring it. So that's going to be a good fight, for as long as it lasts. Daniel Dubois, Caballel, if that's a fight, or Daniel Dubois versus whoever it is, whether it's Wardley, Caballel, Bacoli, Zhang, whoever, that's going to be a good fight. Then Hamza Shiraz versus Carlos Adames. That would be a good fight, for Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz, I would say. Carlos Adames is a champion. That would be a good fight, and a championship fight, and then Shakur and Zepeda and Virgil Ortiz and Drawn Boots Ennis, that would be a good fight. Even if Boots comes back on 22nd and Virgil comes back on 22nd and they're not fighting each other, Virgil's in the 154-pound division. It's like impossible to have a bad fight in that division now because that division is so deep. And then Boots, if he fights on the 22nd and it's not Virgil Ortiz, I would assume that it's going to be a good opponent and maybe another champion, but we know it's not going to be Stanionis because Stanionis is fighting Shakram Giyashov. That fight has already been agreed upon and agreed upon so much. They came to terms so easily that the purse bid was canceled. They didn't even have to do a purse bid. So shout out to Stanionis and Shakram Giyashov. And I don't think it will be Barrios because, like I said, Barrios just fought Abel Ramos last weekend. this past weekend on the Mike Tyson Jake Paul card, and that was a draw. So he probably has to go through his recovery phase and stuff like that. So, and Brian Norman, he was supposed to be fighting Derek Cuevas on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis and Gustavo Lemos, but he sustained a hand injury, and so that has been postponed. But hey, what if they could get Brian Norman in boots on February 22nd, and he just disregards Derek Cuevas? That's a possibility. You never know, man. You never know, man. We got Legacy in the building. Salute, Doc. Big ups to the chat. To the chatterman. I appreciate it, bro. Welcome, man. Welcome, bro. I appreciate you, bro. He said Barrios is a bum. You just a hater, bro. You don't like any PBC fighter, which is crazy. But I do respect that, though. You don't discriminate when it comes to your disdain for PBC fighters. You don't like all of them. It's not like you like the black ones and don't like the Hispanic ones, or you like the Hispanic ones and don't like the white ones, or you like the white ones and don't like the black ones. You don't like them all. So I give you credit for that. This man don't like the Charlos. He don't like Barrios. He don't like Caleb Plant. He don't. I don't even think he likes. You like Canelo? I don't even think you like Canelo, right? This man don't like Esau Pitbull Cruz. He don't like no PBC fighter or affiliate, bro. That man don't like David Benavidez. I heard this man don't even like the PBC ring girls. Gosh dang, bro. JC don't like nobody on PBC, bro. That's crazy. How you hate a promotional company? This man don't like none of the fighters, bro. I never said it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you never said it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you never said you don't like PBC. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So why don't you like the Charlos, or why don't you like Barrios, or why don't you like Esau Pitbull Cruz, or why don't you like Inoue's not on freaking. Oh, you talking about Takeshi? Is Takeshi Inoue on PBC? You talking about Takeshi Inoue? What Inoue you talking about? Now your Inoue's not on PBC. What are you talking about? Neither is Boots. Virgil Ortiz is not on. You're naming a whole bunch of fighters not on PBC. You only named 2 fighters. Plant, because I named them, and Canelo. Yeah, you got Akhmadaliev is also not on PBC. He's with Matchroom. Ortiz is with Golden Boy. Boots is with Matchroom. Inoue's with Top Rank. What are we doing? Nobody you named is on PBC.
You dumbass.
Shout out to Oscar, man. Oh, man. Canelo fake news. That man's a hater, bro. So I take that back. Then maybe it is. Maybe you just don't like black and Hispanic fighters. I know I'm saying I like those fighters. Nah, you don't know nothing. Nah, I'll mess with you, JC. But yeah, man, I think that I think that there's a lot of possibilities for this February 22nd card. I look forward to it on Riyadh season, and man, I'm very much excited, man. I think that if we could get the Beterbiev Bivol rematch in February, that'd be such a quick turnaround. Not a quick turnaround that they can't recover. Assuming that Beterbiev is recovered, he's very injury prone. And Bivol can recover, which I think Beterbiev is fine because, he has injuries and he sits out. It's like, hold on, bro. I'm going to get my injuries fixed and be 100% or as close to 100% as I can be in the ring. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Him going through his process of recovery. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at him implementing that procedure to sit out as long as he can and that game plan, to make sure he's healthy. That's what you should do. So shout out to Beterbiev. But I will be shocked if he has, because it's October, so that would be a 5-month turnaround. That'd be a quick turnaround for Beterbiev. But I would love to see that fight in February, man. That'd be great. Beterbiev and Bivol Part 2, just like that. That'd be good, man. JC stands for just criticizing. You feel me, Legacy? You feel me, bro? That man's a hater, bro. That man's a hater. How you don't like fighters based on the promotion that they're signed with? That's crazy. That's crazy. So oh man, I don't like Boots. I don't like Bam. I don't like Sandy Ryan. Who else, chat? And I don't like I don't know. I don't like Bam Rodriguez. I don't like Boots Ennis. I don't like Sandy Ryan. I don't like Sky Nichols, right? Sky Nicholson. And they'd be like, I don't like Anthony Joshua. They'd be like, dang, Doc, why don't you like those fighters? Oh, because they signed with Eddie Hearn. What the fuck? I don't like them because they fight for Matchroom. What are we doing, bro? Are you Frank Warren? I can only understand that position if you're Frank Warren or Al Heyman or Oscar De La Hoya or Bob Arum. Like, you don't like certain fighters because we're in a certain promotion. It's crazy, bro. Well, that hate runs deep. Doc, JC did pick Triple D ahead of time, and you misspoke about his picks. We remember JC, you good. He did Triple D ahead of time. He picked who? Triple D's not with PBC either. What do you? He picked Triple D over who? Over who? Dub. I don't like Doc. Yeah, you don't like. Don't do me like that. I don't like Dub. That's crazy. Wait. He picked Triple D ahead of time against Anthony Joshua. You talking about? You misspoke about his picks. Remember, JC, you good? Nah, he not good. I don't remember, bro. I got you, Dub. I remember. I know what you're talking about now. Nah, I don't remember, bro. I don't remember him picking Dubois over AJ. I don't remember him picking. I picked that over AJ. You know what I'm talking about? This man JC don't know boxing, bro. He just know hate. Nah, I'm just messing with JC though. I'm just messing with you, bro. But yeah, man. So I also saw what is this? Give me a second, chat. All right, my fault. I had to read the email. All right, so I do think that February 22nd card is good. We do have some cards coming up on this year. This year's not over with yet, right? This Friday we have a fight with Brandon Adams and Andre. I can't remember the dude's name. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce his name because I don't want to destroy it. I'm still gonna destroy it when I see it, but I could do a little bit better with the pronunciation. So Brandon Adams versus Andreas Katzarakis. So that should be a fight. That's a fight on Friday on DAZN. That should be a good one. Then we got a couple fights on smaller fights on Saturday as well, good Lord willing. But November 30th, we have Sonny Edwards versus Galal Yafai, and we will have Callum Smith returning. So that's good. But December 7th is a date that you need to mark on your calendar, man. If you're gonna watch some boxing, tune in December 7th because we have some good fights, right? On one card, we have top rank. I hate when they do this. We have a top rank card and a matchroom card on the same day. Both great fights too. But the top rank card is Oscar Valdez and Manuel Navarrete rematch. And then, which I think is unnecessary, but it's going to be a fight. And shout out to Oscar Valdez. He says that he thinks he could change something, but he got beat up pretty badly and lost by unanimous decision in their first fight. And then we have the rematch I'm looking forward to, which is the Fight of the Year candidate. I don't remember if it actually won Fight of the Year or not, but it was definitely a candidate. In Rafael Espinosa versus Robici Ramirez, that rematch. Oh my gosh, that fight right there. It might end early, it might end late, but that fight is going to be great. That's it. It might end early, it might end late, but that fight is going to be great. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's by decision or KO, it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to that fight the most. But the fight that I'm looking forward to second most is on Matchroom, and that is Liam Paro defending his IBF title at Junior Welterweight 140 against Richardson Hitchens, man, aka Africa. They call him Africa. I think that's gonna be a good fight, man. Liam Paro's promised a dog fight. Richardson Hitchens say he's gonna beat him up. So we'll see, man. I think that it's a very good fight for both fighters. I think if Liam Paro wins, that'd be another notch in his belt to fully establish himself at the 140 pound. 140 pound division. I mean, he's already established, right? He beat the boogeyman of the 140 pound division, Subra Matias, last time he was in Puerto Rico. They'll be fighting in Puerto Rico again. He's already established, but with him beating Montana Love, then beating Subra Matias, if he adds Richardson Hitchens as a dub to his record and his resume will be raised and built up even more, man. And I think that just make him even more formidable. Now, if Richardson Hitchens could win, man, not only will he be a champion, but I think that'll also significantly raise his stock as well, man. That'd be a good win. And then I think people would overlook the fact that Richardson Hitchens didn't fight Subra Matias because a lot of people say, oh, he's the mandatory, he's ducking. You see how people control the narrative? Yeah, I'm talking about guys like Pro Box. I'm not talking about the goofies. I'm talking about the guys on Pro Box who's supposed to know better. They every time they bring up Richardson Hitchens, they say Richardson Hitchens didn't. They always make sure they mention that he didn't exercise his right as a mandatory for the IBF to fight Subra Matias in time or whatever, right? It was never called, but he never pushed for it, right? That's what they say. But what about Zepeda? When they talk about Zepeda, who's a mandatory in WBC, WBO, WBA, and IBF, what do they always say? Oh, the champion's not giving him a chance. So on one hand, you're saying Richardson Hitchens didn't utilize or exercise or take advantage of his position as a mandatory to get a chance at the belt because they're implying that he was scared of Super Matias. I mean, I don't think he was too adamant or excited to fight Super Matias either. I admit that. But then why do you have a contrary a stance and make a whole 180 when it comes to Zepeda being not only the mandatory in one sanctioned body, but all four? And he didn't utilize his champion. He didn't utilize it to get a title yet. In fact, it seems like Shakur, who's a champion, is chasing. It seems like Shakur is chasing Zepeda. How is a champion chasing the mandatory? It's supposed to be the other way around. It's just funny how people change the narrative when it comes to certain people and they're trying to push something. You know what I'm saying? My guy Oscar in the building. Define irony in the building says, "What's good, brethren?" He says, "Hey, what do you think about Robisi versus Espinosa rematch?" Man, what do I think? I think it's a great fight. I just said that, so I think that's a great fight, man. I think that fight is gonna be fire. That fight is fantastic. I think it's always at the end of the year, right? The first time they fought was at the end of the year too, so they always have a fight. Well, not always. I mean, they only fought twice, but the last time they fought was at the end of the year. That was a fight of the year candidate. I can't remember if it actually won fight of the year, but that was in December of 2023, right? So, and now they're fighting in December of 2024 again. So, they always end the year with a banger. So, I think it's going to be a great fight. I personally have El Divino because I think El Divino is the best fighter at 126, but Robisi Ramirez is a beast as well. So I'm leaning towards Espinosa. And then when you look at their fight too, if you remember, a lot of people don't mention this or they forget or maybe they're oblivious to it, but he hurt his foot. You know, not only is he 6'1", and he got knocked down and recovered and, you know what I'm saying, fought Robisi to a good fight, but he also hurt his foot. So his maneuverability was compromised. You know what I'm saying? So he was compromised. Now he hurt his foot in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He hurt his foot in the fight, but it was still compromised and he still won. So assuming, this is a big assumption now, but assuming that had something to do with it being so close, then he might win in even more convincing fashion this time, you know, because he won by majority decision, you know, and I think it was in large part because he dropped Ramirez in the he dropped him in the final round, in the 12th round. So I think Espinosa is going to win again, but I think it's going to be a fight of the year candidate again because I like them both, you know, and Robisi Ramirez is not playing, man. He's coming off of he has momentum on his side, right? What he just did to Brandon Benitez was crazy. He has a knockout of the year candidate against Brandon Benitez. His last fight, he took that uppercut from hell, boy. He took that, charged it up, and like on some Dragon Ball Z, like when Dragon Ball Z, when they do the Kamehameha, or Goku about to do the Dragon Punch, they charge it up for a whole episode. That's how he did it. I don't know how Benitez ain't see it, but he cocked back, looking like a Ayukin from Street Fighter. He cocked back and Ayukin. I swear he almost beheaded. He almost beheaded Benitez, bro. That knockout was crazy. So Robisi Ramirez is definitely a formidable opponent. I don't know who. I'm leaning towards Espinosa. I don't know who definitively has the advantage because, like I said, they're both willing to bang. You know, I think Rafael Espinosa, right? It's hard to see him having a disadvantage at the 126-pound division strictly because of his physique, you know. So he's tall, he knows how to use his range, but he don't mind brawling either. So if you get into the inside, it's not all flowers and pancakes, you know. Once you get in the inside, he likes to fight in there too. So, you know, I think it's a good. I don't know. It's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be a good fight. Exactly in the first knockdown. Yep. I agree. I got Espinosa again. Yes, sir. My guy Oscar in the building. Mi hermano in the building. Yes, sir. He said, I don't like Hitchens mentioned that IBF weight hydration clause. I don't like that either. He's fighting for a title. That's the last thing he should mention. I agree with that, Oscar. I do think Richardson Hitchens is dare I say, corny for mentioning the hydration. Like, switch sanctioning bodies or move up. Like, I'm tired of people using this weight as if it's something new. Like, people make it seem like the fact that they have to abide by a weight limit in the weight class that they're in, they're somehow at a disadvantage, or it's unbeknownst to them, or it just sprung up on them. No, there's nothing spontaneous about this. You know that's what you have to do. You have to abide by the weight limits. But once again, American boxing, and sometimes American boxers and American boxing fans mostly, they don't really care about rules or regulations. Like, bro, like, if he was in Japan, he'll probably get suspended just because he was talking about the rehydration clauses. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. Like, that's not an excuse. Like, when people talk about Tank and Ryan Garcia, oh, Ryan Garcia was weight drained. No, he chose to fight at 135. It's his fault if he can't make the weight. Go up. In fact, Tank gave him an extra pound. They fought at 136. So how is he at a disadvantage? How is he weight drained? You voluntarily pick the weight division you fight at. You're not forced there. If you can no longer make weight, move your fat ass up. That's it. If the weight is too much, take your skinny behind down. That's it. There's nothing controversial about it. There's nothing questionable about it. Like, yeah, I think that I agree with Oscar 1,000%. Him bringing up the rehydration limit, like it's somehow puts him at a disadvantage. No, you can't take it. Then go to the WBC or WBA or WBO where they don't have a 10-pound rehydration limit for a second day weigh in the morning of. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a that's not a good excuse. You know, so I'm sorry. So I do agree with that 1,000%. That should be the last thing you worry about. You should be confident in your skills, and if you're not confident in your skills at that weight, then go up to 147. Nothing is stopping you. He said to add to Espinosa, he had problems with his visa and didn't arrive the same day as press conference. I expect a more prepared Espinosa. Ooh, I didn't know about that. Zepeda versus Shakur would have been one-sided. Shakur would box circles around him. I agree. Well, I don't know about one-sided legacy. I do agree that Shakur wins. I think it will become one-sided. I think as the fight goes on, Shakur will be more comfortable. But I think those first 4 or 5 rounds are going to be pretty interesting, man. Might even be hell for Shakur. I don't know. He said they both bums. Everybody's a bum to you. Espinosa got like a Fundora type body. Yeah. Fundora's what, 6'6" at 154, 154. Man, Espinosa is 6'1" at 126. That's both crazy, man. Big back season is over for ULs. What's good, Carver? Man, the battle of the Davids, I just can't call it. We got Carver in the building. Big back season is over for you, Wells. I don't know who you. Man, the battle of the Davies. Yeah, that fight is good too, man. I'm looking forward to that as well. I don't know, like at 168, I've always said if that fight happened at 168, I had Benavidez, no problem. I don't know why. I just felt real confident at 168 for Benavidez. 175, when it was initially called at 175, after watching Morrell's fight against Hot Rod Kaladzik and watching Benavidez fight against Alexander Vazdik, I kind of leaned towards Morrell because I feel like his body type was more suitable for 175. And I didn't like Benavidez's physique. But now that he's there again and he showed up with a similar physique, now granted there's some time out, right? We still have 3 months till February. It's the beginning of February, so like 2.5 months. So he has some times to get in shape. But I think this is his shape, and I think he's gonna. What can I say? I guess his ambition is to use his weight in a similar fashion that he did in 168, and I think that he can weigh down on David Morrell. And Morrell has athleticism in his favor. Benavidez will have the size in his favor, but I think Benavidez might impose it a little bit. Like just looking at the press conference, you can't really tell much, but I just feel like David Benavidez seemed a little confident, a little bit more confident, even though he had a little soggy body. You could use your weight to your benefit, like Tyson Fury, right? So I don't know, man. I might have to retract that assessment. I mean, I'm still keeping the same assessment, but I'm gonna have to retract my prediction. I think that like if you ask me right now at this moment, I would say 60-40 in favor of Benavidez. But I'm still gonna stand 10 toes down and stick with Morrell right now. But that might change. It's probably gonna change. He said, define irony. I agree with the main difference. Espinosa uses range. I got Morrell upset. Hey, I'm not mad at that at all. Morrell upset, and yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. He said, which round and what punch? I'm leaning to Morrell. I think he got more tools. I mean, by UD, split decision, TKO, KO, or corner stoppage. Oh, you're talking to him. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think it's a good fight. We're in for a treat. That card is great. If you like boxing, if you're a fan of boxing, then I don't see how you could dislike this card. But if you're not really an avid watcher of boxing or enjoyer of boxing, then I can understand me not being too excited with the David Morrell, David Benavidez card. But that card is great. Like I said, it has Isa Pitbull Cruz and Alex Fierro. It has Jesus Ramos Jr. versus Jason Rosario, aka Banana. I don't like calling him no. I ain't calling no grown man Banana.
No, did he?
And then Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton too, man. That's gonna be a great fight, man. I think all the cards from all the fights from top to bottom is good, man. Are good, excuse me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes though, man. We'll see how it goes. David Morrell is bigger than David Benavidez. No, he's not, but you could think so if you like to. I don't think you know what bigger means. Yeah, shout out to Edward Morris, but yeah, David Morrell is not bigger than David Benavidez. I don't think he's ever been bigger than David Benavidez. I don't think you know what the word bigger means. I think you're confusing bigger with taller. Those words are not synonymous. So, but I don't think David Morrell has ever been bigger than David Benavidez in life. So, but you know, but when you say something, people think something. They think that they know what they're talking about. A shout out to Edward though. Oh man, he says you say split decision. Ooh, for Espinosa, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I kind of feel like they're not going decision, Oscar. I kind of feel like they're not going decision, man. I don't know if they're going to decision, man. I don't know, man. That fight is gonna be great, and you know what's crazy? I don't really care who wins. Like before, I was like, I want Espinosa to win. I don't really care who wins. But I still think Espinosa is going to win, but I don't really care. Like if Robeisy Ramirez wins, I think it's great still, you know, because the reason why I wanted Espinosa to win before is because I think that he has the best chance of becoming undisputed at 126 at featherweight, but he's moving up, you know what I'm saying? So I think if he loses, he definitely moves up to 130. If he wins, I hope he stays, man. I hope he stays. Oh, Espinosa by stoppage and Morrell by split. Oh, okay. If Usyk beats Fury again, then make AJ versus Fury. They can call it the battle of the sons of. I'm telling you. Everybody in the UK, every boxer in the UK in the heavyweight division is a son of Usyk. Usyk is, like I said, the UK is called Usyk Kingdom. I don't think that. I don't know what he has over them, man. I don't know what he has over him, man. My guy Ty in the building. This guy Edward Morris is still on this. David Morrell has a bigger frame. Okay, bro. okay. You just don't know what the word bigger means. Now, you had to think about it for 2 minutes and come back with he has a bigger frame. Bigger is a size thing. Size is 3 dimensions, right? So I always give people this example for people who obviously don't know the definition of words. A giraffe is taller than an elephant. No one says the biggest land animal is a giraffe. They say the tallest land animal is a giraffe. The biggest land animal is an elephant because it's girth, it's height. Well, let me break it. It's height, length, and width. David Benavidez in the ring and out the ring is always bigger than David Morrell. So a bigger frame does not mean he's bigger. You're trying to. How could I say, instead of just have accountability, say, dang, my bad, I'm wrong. You're trying to make a way to seem like you're right. You're just wrong, bro. It's okay. You just don't know what bigger means. There's no way David Morrell is bigger than David Benavidez. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I didn't like Benavidez. Like, in the unofficial weight and the official weight, he's never bigger than him. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe he's actually naturally bigger. Yeah, Ty, I don't know what he's talking about, bro. It's just, you know, some people are just, when they're wrong, it's hard for them to embrace their incorrectness, I guess. Like, he's trying to make an argument out of it. First it was Benavidez Morrell's bigger than him, and then when I told him if he's only talking about height, then, you know, now he's saying, oh, it's a bigger frame. Okay, well, go measure his frame then. You know, I don't care about his frame, bro. Go ahead, tailor a suit for him. I guess, I don't know. I have Benavidez by split decision. My guy Cito in the building. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. People like to make an argument out of anything and just be wrong, bro. That's the internet for you. You could literally look it up. You could literally look up their sizes and look up how they fight, and I mean look up their fights and stuff. Morrell has never been bigger than Benavidez. Yeah, Morrell's a little taller, but I'm surprised people don't understand. They don't understand it because a lot of people don't understand a lot of shit that they talk about. But they act like they do. They don't understand a lot of shit that they talk about, Ty. It's okay, though. You've been boxing for 30 years? Good job, bro. I'm proud of you. All right, so moving on. I'm proud of you, bro. My guy Edward Morris been boxing for 30 years. Good job, bro. The fuck does that got to do with knowing what size is? Knowing a 3-dimensional term. It's a 3-dimensional metric. You just don't know what it is, bro. It's okay. I don't care if seems like you've been getting punched in the head for a while. Yeah, I agree with that. He's the type of dude to believe Oscar DLH claiming Boots and Shakur. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. This man here, bro. This man here, bro. I guess, no, being a boxer for 30 years means that you know the definition of words. Good job, bro. I'm happy. I'm proud of you, bro. You boxed for 30 years. Congratulations. I didn't read the rest of your comments, so. One thing I worry about is I don't think Morrell has fought the opposition that Benavidez. I agree. Yeah, so Benavidez is definitely the more experienced fighter in that outfit. But I think it's good though, right? Because Morrell, he has 10. That's the thing. Okay, so you seen that shit right? Why that man capping? I don't know. I gotta let him have it. I gotta not. Yeah, it's basic geometry. Yeah, I don't. Whether you box for 30 years or you box for no years, like what the fuck does that got to do with geometry? And measurements. I don't know. Well, yeah, and dimensions. I don't know. You know, like I don't know. Who cares? Whatever. You got it, brother. You're right. Benavidez is smaller than who is it? Morrell. I agree. Yeah, sure. One thing I say I don't agree. Let me not twist my words. I definitely don't agree with you. But yeah, you're right though. One thing I worry about is so Morrell has 10 fights or 11 fights? I can't remember. So the good thing about Morrell in regards to this fight with Benavidez, if he loses, he only has 11 fights, right? So he could bounce back. And Benavidez, they could both bounce back, you know what I'm saying, if they lose. But Morrell is going to be considered the underdog. And like you said, he has less experience than Benavidez. That's Benavidez is one of his many advantages. And David Morrell has some advantages too. But I think with Morrell, the fact that this is considered such a big step up for him, he's kind of in, I don't want to say a win-win situation, because I think that they're both, like I said, the risk greatly outweighs the reward for both, especially Benavidez, because I don't know if you pay attention to the boxing rankings, but they're both in positions to where they could call to fight Beterbiev next after Beterbiev handles his business, if he handles his business against Michael Eifert, who's his IBF mandatory. Morrell has an interim championship, and Benavidez is a regular champion, if I'm not mistaken. So they're both in positions to have Beterbiev next. So them fighting each other does very little for them besides the fanfare that they'll get. So shout out to the both men. I think that's great that they both agreed to fight each other. I think we should celebrate that more. But Benavidez, I think Benavidez, with having more experience, you know, he's been in there with Caleb Plant, he's been in there with Boo Boo Andrade, you know, he's been chasing Canelo and stuff like that, and he's been in a mandatory or top position for a while. People have expectations for him to be the guy that's 11-0, you know, not recognizing how good David Morrell is or potentially could be, you know. So I think that with that, if he loses, oh man, people are going to be on his head top, which I don't think is right, because I think that if win or lose, I salute both of them, because I think it's going to be a great fight. But yeah, man, check out my boy Clone dropping some graffiti on the chat walls. I appreciate that, with that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
He says, just here reminding you, we're still... I'm just here to remind you that we're still boycotting. You were casual. You was rooting for Jake Paul. Stay blessed. I was not rooting for Jake Paul, but I did say Jake Paul was gonna win. I was not rooting for Jake Paul. That's cap. He said, I'm talking about freaky ass Oscar of Gold. Yeah, I know what you were talking about. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, you talking about Oscar with at first I thought you were talking about Buddy, but then I realized you talking about Oscar De La Hoya. I appreciate it, Ty. Back and give us super chat 300. It's all right, Edward. Just let it go, brother. What happened? He's still talking? You still talking? He said, yeah. I mean, I don't know. People are weird, man. He said, yeah, don't delete these messages. Like, nah, let him talk. Unless, please don't delete. Well, if he says something, you know, racist or something like that, or sexist, or I don't know, something that's discriminating towards a specific group, whether it's by orientation or gender or ethnicity or whatever, then, but if he's just talking shit to me, let him talk. I don't care. He's goofy, so that's how people are when they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's just an uneducated idiot. So he just makes himself look stupid. He's in here arguing about somebody's size. Go get your measuring tape and measure his dick then. You ain't gonna worry about his size. Fucking weirdo. This man's been talking about the size of David Morrell. You know how I know you gay? Go get your tape out while you're down there. You know what I'm talking about? Wipe your chin while you're down there. This man measure. He's concerned. We're talking about boxing. He's talking about somebody's girth. You fucking weirdo. Sweet ass. 30 years of boxing, 30 years of goddamn meat sucking, mouth asshole. Yeah, no Diddy. No Diddy. Oh, fucking weirdo. How you been? This man been here for 30 minutes talking about David Morrell's size. You fucking clown. Goofy dog. Just keep your mouth open though. Just keep your mouth open, bro. Weird, bro. Anyway, okay, so we have an announcement from Eddie Hearn. He says Eddie Hearn has said he wants to make Jay Apataya versus Gilberto Ramirez as WBA, IBF, WBO Cruiserweight World Title Unification. It's the best fight in the division. It's a must-make fight. As good as Zerto is, Apataya is a different animal. I like that fight, man, but Apataya has to handle his IBF business first, right? He has to... Hey, Clone said, huh?
No, did he?
I mean, who goes into a boxing channel and we talked about all types of boxing fights, and he wants to argue about who's bigger, Morrell or Benavidez? And when I even said, okay, bro, you're right, and he's still carrying on. You're that excited to talk about another man's size? I can't relate, bro. I'm talking about boxing. I don't know what you talking about. Maybe you got to go check out his OnlyFans, man. I wish you the best, but like that's weird, man. I tried to disregard the message, and I already proved to the reason why he's on and on about it instead of letting it go. Even if he is right, if you're so confident you're right, let it go, bro. I said, okay, you're right. I mean, you're clearly wrong, but that's why you're mad, because you feel stupid now, because you don't know how to determine size as a grown man who's been boxing for 30 years. That means you're at least 35. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt saying you're boxing as a child. You volunteer the information that you've been boxing for 30 years. I don't know how that indicates that you know how to determine size or you know how to recognize a metric of size. But okay, you've been boxing for 30 years. What the fuck does that got to do with anything? However long you've been boxing, you've been sucking dick for longer. I'm trying to measure somebody's size, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You don't know how to do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Size is not just a vertical dimension. You know what I'm saying? Once again, what really killed him when I gave him the elephant and the giraffe analogy. That's what really killed him. You know, that's what really made him mad, because I told him that, you know, a giraffe is considered the tallest animal in the animal kingdom. No one ever called it the biggest animal. The biggest land animal is an elephant. It's not taller than the giraffe, you fucking nincompoop. You stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? No one says a giraffe is the biggest animal. It's the biggest land animal. They say the elephant is the biggest animal. And that's what really made him mad. He started talking about his history and his background and his 30 years of boxing. You know, talk about your 40 years of dick sucking. You're trying to measure people's size. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like a hoe. You want to David Morrell's hoes? Fucking weirdo. My bad. My bad. I would just say because you do something, it doesn't mean you understand it. And but that's the thing, Oscar. What does boxing have to do with be able to determine size? What does that have to do with anything? He's just reaching, bro. We were talking about that the other day. When you bust somebody's ass in a discussion, they get to reach it for everything. They get to reach it for everything, bro. Stuff that doesn't make sense. What the heck does boxing have to do with the price of tea in China? Or the size of the land in the safari? Or the amount of people in Lagos, Nigeria? What does it have to do with anything? You go box for 100 years. That still ain't gonna change that you stupid. You stupid, bro. You stupid, bro. And the only way ignorant people have a voice is on the internet, bro. It's okay to be stupid, but you should also be quiet when you're stupid. Shut the fuck up, bro. You should be quiet, dumb, and silent. Those things should go together. You know what I'm talking about? You shouldn't be loud and dumb. It's okay to be wrong, but when you're stupid, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to be a dumbass, but you should be a quiet one. Doc Crank, that just annoys me, bro. Like we talked about Beterbiev and Bivol. We talked about David Morrell and David Benavidez. We talked about a great card. We talked about all types of things. We talked about, I don't know, Oliver McCall calling out Jake Paul. What he wants to argue about is the size of another man. That's what he wants to argue about. That's what he took out the entire conversation. He didn't give a prediction on who would win. He didn't say, oh no, the fight may not happen. He didn't give an alternative or say what fight he's looking forward to. He wanted to talk about the size of a man. I mean, I don't know, bro. If that ain't the lady of a nigga, I don't know what is. And I don't know. That shit's just annoying, bro. In Mexico, we call that a drown man kicking. Yeah, facts. Yeah, with cement shoes on. You know what I'm saying? His stupid ass probably can't even swim. You know he drowning. I'm gonna choke on that. You already know. You already drowned. Why you kick? Right? Why you kicking, bro? You just go ahead and go to sleep. Like, bro. Like, gosh, leave, man. You're right, bro. What is? Okay, you're right. He has a bigger. What he said first? He said he was bigger. Then he said he has a. First he said he was taller. When I debunked that, he didn't. Now he said he has a bigger frame. Okay. However big his frame is, apparently your mouth is bigger, because he's fitting all up in them jaws. I'll tell you that. This man came in here want to argue about David Morrell's size and get mad about it. Fucking weirdo. Anyway. My guy Mansa Musa in the building. It's weird, man. But yeah, so I think that with David Morrell and David Benavidez, I think it's a great fight. I think the fact that it's unnecessary makes it even better. Because like I said, I don't think that they have to fight. They don't need to fight, but they're going to make it happen for the fans. And I love it because, you know, David Benavidez, he's in a position to where he can't duck anybody. Can't nobody think that he's avoiding anybody, because the way he's been so adamantly calling out Canelo and saying that he's ducking him. If anybody wants to fight him, he has to fight him like almost right away, you know, just to avoid having a face of the hypocrisy of it all. Like I said, but that wouldn't come from me, because I think boxing is a business, and I understand why he's calling out Canelo, because that'll boost his profile, you know what I'm saying, and it would have led him to be a champion. He could not have become a champion at 168 unless he fought Canelo. Like I said, I think Canelo would win, but I don't knock Benavidez for calling him out. But I do respect him so much to the utmost capacity, because like I said, he doesn't have to fight David Morrell. He's doing it for the fans. He's doing it for Karma, I'm about to toss you out. I ain't gonna lie. You get on my nerves. But Jesus is always watching. Amen. I appreciate that, Karma. Thank you. Not now. Not now. And Jesus is watching, and Jesus is also forgiving. And I think if I repent a little bit, he gonna forgive me too. You know, because in the Bible, please believe, bitches got smited in the Bible too. Not saying by me. I'm just saying. You know, the Bible ain't all about fruits and rainbows. You come incorrect, you get your ass smited too. You better read all them chapters. Jesus would definitely smite a bitch. You know, God forgive me for, you know, cursing. Can I ask a question? But yeah, I think that David Benavidez and David Morrell, I think that like I said, I think this is great because he's going to the danger. He's approaching it, you know what I'm saying? And David Morrell is dangerous. And this one, I want to say this too. If David Benavidez beats the hell out of David Morrell, I don't want to discredit him, man. Like, and vice versa. If David Morrell beats the hell out of David Benavidez, we got to give both of them the utmost credit. Because people like to say, oh, this is a tough fight. And then when they fight and someone wins definitively, it's because somebody is not good. No, it's just that guy is better than what we thought, you know, what we anticipated. So, yeah, I think that this is a great fight for boxing. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we should celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Worry about how bad Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was for boxing. What do mermaids use to wash their hands? Tied? That's a good one. You know the old heads still heard about Tyson. That's facts. Can I ask a question? Do you have to say his mouth and his jaws when you insulted the man? I mean, no, he's infatuated with the man's body parts, apparently. You know, he broke down the different sizes of David Morrell and the different measurements and the way that you could acquire his... So no, you know, no, I can't. You know, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, if you real, ain't nothing wrong with calling somebody real that they real. You know what I'm saying? And if you a bird, you a bird. And if you a cocksucker, you a cocksucker. That's what. There's nothing wrong. Now it's wrong if you call somebody out of their name, but that's what he was doing. This man hopped in the chat on his hands and knees in front of Morrell. Like, cut the camera off, bro. I'm not trying to see that. Y'all seen the Don King card last night? Nah, I did not. I missed that. What was that? December going to be the best month of this year, boxing-wise. What's going on in December? We got Espinosa, Robisi Ramirez, Paro Hitchens, Valdez Navarrete, Fury Usyk, Inoue Goodman. Yeah, hey man, you on to something. Inoue Goodman, you on to something. I'm trying to think, am I missing anybody? December. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. It should have been Tank and Roach. I'm about to throw you. Whatever. You've been missing for many a moons. I was going to act like I didn't know this, but I'm going to let you slide. You know what I'm talking about? You know. That's all good, though. I'm mad right now, chat. I ain't going to lie. So. If you've been waiting for a day to argue with Doc, this is a day. Bring your ass. Come on. Come on. Come on. This is it. You know, I've been waiting for Wade to jump on the bitch. So come on. What was his name? I don't even remember his name. I'm talking about you been boxing for 30 years. I want to see about it. I want to see about the 30 years, about the 3 decades worth of boxing. You should have boxed a little less. You fucking numbskull. You get beating your head too much. You've been boxing for about 30 years. I know. Yeah, stupid ass. Mad at me because you don't know motherfucking simple concepts. Mad at me. Imagine off. You still owe me a fight, Karma. I want to fight. As much as you want to fight me, I want to fight you too. Are you gonna watch the card? The 7th Pro Box top ranked match. What's the Pro Box? Madrimov versus Boachuk. Yep, Serhiy Boachuk and Israel Madrimov. That's a good one. A 59-year-old was fighting Don King. Oh, yeah, I already talked about that, man. Come on, man. See, I be knowing stuff, and I don't even be knowing. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, we talked about Oliver. He's man said a 59-year-old, bro. You disrespectful, bro. This man called. I mean, I know he is 59, so you're not inaccurate, but put some respect on the man's name, bro.
Here you go. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta time you. I'm sorry, man. I'm mad right now. I gotta time you out, bro. I gotta give you a minute. The man said a 59-year-old, bro. Get him out of here, man. Get him out. I can't kick out Karma, so you're gonna have to hold that for Karma. You my guy, man. So I love me some Karma. I don't love me some you. I'm gonna toss you out for a minute. I like you. I don't love you. I can't toss out Karma. She got that wrench. She might throw it back at me. You know what I'm saying? I got dodge wrenches. I ain't got time. I can toss you out for it. This man said a 59-year-old, man. That 59-year-old is a former champion, man. That's Oliver McCall, man. Oliver McCall, who formerly knocked out who I consider the best heavyweight of all time. No disrespect to Muhammad Ali, who's the GOAT, of course. He supersedes anybody and anything in the respect of boxing and sports. But when it comes to just strictly talk about being in the ring, for me personally, Lennox the Lion Lewis is that guy for me. Oliver McCall knocked out Lennox the Lion Lewis in '94, I think. You know what I'm saying? Lennox Lewis avenged that loss, but he knocked him out, you know. And so he's the guy that was 59 years old that beat up the 54-year-old Stacey Frazier last night. He said, normally I try to gaslight, but I don't have Kendrick to keep scoring. Don't do that, Ty. Don't do that. Shout out to my boy Mazza. Now, Mazza, no, I'm joking. Throw it back at you. Hey, yo, come on, man. I said, come on. Come. Okay, y'all being messy. Come on now. I was not speaking in those terms. Come on now. Come on now.
What do you mean by that?
I did not say throw it back at me. That I specifically said the wrench. Throw it back at me, as in it would be the wrench. I don't know what you don't get me beat up, bro. That's his comment, because don't put that on me, Karma. You think Loma got a shot against the Terminator Tank Davis? Absolutely not. And I think that's what's indicative of that, Delray. Sorry, define irony. What's indicative of that is that him suddenly contemplating retirement. Like I said, do what you want, because boxing is a dangerous sport, right? So I do respect the fighters always first, and I don't want to be on Lomachenko too hard as far as his sudden contemplation of retirement, but he did, proclaim himself in respects to, I think he said his father and stuff, that he wants to get undisputed. Well, you knew when you fought Kambosos for that vacant title that the other title holders were Shakur Stevenson, a guy that you didn't fight for the longest, and that fight could have been easily facilitated since you were both on top rank together for the longest. And then Tank Davis, he had the championship. So you only intended to fight Denis Berinchyk, your countryman? I thought you don't fight your countrymen either, because they're both from Ukraine. So who are you going to fight to get this undisputed at 135? You didn't want to fight any other champion. So that's what I knock him for. I'm not going to say he's scared. Like I said, I think Lomachenko is a good fighter. I'm not going to say he's scared of Tank, but I do think that he recognizes that even if you don't think Tank would beat him, he definitely thinks Shakur would beat him. So either way, it's very hard to analyze Lomachenko's situation and not come to the conclusion that he's ducking. So no matter how you cut it, he's ducking somebody. So So yeah, I don't like I said, I don't want to say he's ducking, but he's definitely not too intrigued about fighting Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur's, he's been calling him out for the longest, so we know that's for a fact. And we could speculate, and there might be a little wiggle room in regards to Loma and Tank not fighting, but there's no wiggle room. As if you keep up with boxing, there's no way that you could defend or justify Lomachenko and Shakur not fighting while they're both on top rank for half a decade. You can't justify that. So but yeah, I think Lomachenko would lose to Tank, but I think he has a good chance to win too. I can see a path of victory for him to beat Tank as well. Lomachenko is a good fighter, you know, so I'm not knocking that. You know, he's 18-3. He's probably the best fighter in boxing history to be 18-3. Take that how you want it. Take that however you want to take it, you know, whether it's positive or negative. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just giving you his stats. He's probably one of the best fighters in boxing history to be 18-3. I'm just gonna say that. The grade, I'm cool at work. I don't need to get some coffee though. It was fair game, and it wasn't a no Diddy moment. As an unofficial referee on the chat, I'm letting her. Okay, I appreciate it, Di. Appreciate you, Di. Appreciate it. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, appreciate it, bro. You know, I don't want to get in trouble, you know, because I have a very dislikable face, I guess, because people just get mad at me for anything. Not saying karma. Not saying karma does. I'm just saying in general. Yeah, I can say one thing, and I could be reading chat, and people get on my. I remember when I timed out Mansa Musa for a minute, but Mansa been gone, bro. I only timed you out for a minute. Mansa, you back, bro? Where you at, bro? I could just name a couple people get mad at me for me just reading chat. I'm like, bro, I didn't say that. I just read the chat. But anyway, whatever. I told people at the barbershop, I think Loma can pull off a legendary upset just because I don't think Tank has seen anything like Loma and almost got jumped. I'm telling you, yeah, irony. That's the thing. Like, people are so I will tell you, irony. I will openly tell you, Tank and Canelo are my two favorite fighters. I don't think they're invincible, though. And I respect other fighters. I think Lomachenko can win. Don't get it twisted. I think he can win. But me and myself, and from what I've seen, the assessment that I made, me analyzing boxing, I could be wrong, of course. I'm not, I mean, that's why I make predictions and I'm wrong all the time. I just happen to be right a lot more than I'm wrong. So, you know, I have no problem I have no problem making predictions because, I mean, there's a category in boxing called upset of the year for a reason, because upsets happen. So I think people who have fragile egos, and they try to make it an excuse for when they are wrong. So I don't mind being wrong. I think Lomachenko could win. Number one, Lomachenko is a good fighter, and I can see a path to victory. Like you said, Tank hasn't fought anybody like Lomachenko. I just don't know if Lomachenko has fought anybody like Tank either. You know, because Tank is not just power, contrary to popular belief. Tank, you know what's so crazy? You know, I want to say this too. You know what's crazy? People will look at Tank and Beterbiev, right? And they will say that, oh, Beterbiev is not just power. He has boxing skill and he has boxing acumen, which I agree he definitely does. But what I don't understand is how people look at Tank and they just reduce him to just power. I'm sorry. And it's not just, and I don't mean this disrespectfully because they're both great fighters. But who has shown more, who has a more versatile boxing game, Tank or Beterbiev? Who has demonstrated more versatility in the boxing ring, Tank or Beterbiev? I'm just asking an honest question. Who have we seen go backwards and forwards? Who have we seen slip and slide and duck and dodge punches? Who have we seen counter? So it's just funny to me. Like, I think people minimize Tank to just power, and I think he has power, and Lomachenko fought strong opponents before, guys with punching power like Nicholas Axeman Walters. He had punching power, but he didn't have the skill that Gervonta Tank Davis does. And it's like with Bivol and Beterbiev. That's why Beterbiev won, right? I personally thought that Bivol edged it out, but it was a controversial win, but it wasn't a robbery. I think it could have went either way. But Beterbiev definitely has boxing skills that are underrated as well. Like, he's not just a come forward pressure fighter. He's very good at placing his punches and accurate with his punches. And he's very durable as well. So I think that was demonstrated against somebody like Bivol, because Bivol never fought a guy like Beterbiev with that pressure, consistent pressure, constant pressure, relentless pressure, and power all combined in one. But Beterbiev never fought a guy like Bivol either. That's why that light heavyweight undisputed fight was so great, because those two styles that contrast each other, and we could see as being able to overcome the other and probably being the epitome of the style that would overcome the other one if it had to. So same with Tank and Lomachenko. I think it's a very similar. I'm not saying that it's an undisputed matchup, so the stakes aren't as high. And I'm not saying who's better between Bivol, Tank, and Beterbiev and Lomachenko individually, but I'm saying it's a very comparable matchup as far as stylistically speaking. It's a very comparable matchup as two styles that contrast each other and could have the makeup for a great fight. Now, if you want to say, oh, well, this guy's older, he hasn't been demonstrating or showcasing the ability that he had in Lomachenko, that's not entirely true, because last time I saw Lomachenko, he stopped Kambosos. Devin Haney didn't do that. He's much younger. Teofimo didn't do that. In fact, Teofimo didn't even win. He lost. So what about Lomachenko's performance leads you to believe that he's older besides the fact that he's 36? And if you think he's old because he's 36, why don't you think Alexander Usyk is old and he's 37? Why don't you think Roman Chocolatito is old and he's 38 or 37 or 38 and about to fight Bam Rodriguez with 58 fights? Lomachenko's 36, but he only has 21 fights in total. Deontay Wilder is 39 with 48 fights, double the amount of fights and older. No one says that he was old when Zhang beat him. They just said Zhang beat the hell out of him. They didn't say, oh, Deontay Wilder was old. But he's older than Lomachenko, so why are you so scared of Tank potentially beating him? Or why are you so quick to set the table for if Tank beats Lomachenko, you could say, oh, it's because he was old. No, he just lost, bro. He just lost. If he loses. And if he wins, he just won because he's better. And if he loses, he just lost because he's worse. That's it, bro. Like, give people their credit, man. All these boxers are fighting. It's a very dangerous sport, and nothing is given, it's earned, man. All these fighters work hard. Stop diminishing people's victories and exaggerating people's losses. You know what I'm saying? Give everybody the same amount of credit that they deserve, man. Stop being so one-sided. Pro box. Excuse me. I said that out loud. Zepeda is in PC. They not in protective custody. PC is protective custody for those of you unfamiliar. It's not Panama City for you spring breakers. Shout out to Panama City, though. I had some good times over there. Yeah, man. Man, Panama City, man. I love Panama City, bro. Like, going there for spring break, man, got me some good, you know what I'm talking about? Good times. I lost my iPod, too. Right when the iPod Pocket was it iPod Pocket? The Slimmer, iPod Slimmer, whatever one, I don't know, but I lost it, man. My girl at the time was mad. She bought it for me. I dropped it off a balcony or something. Anyway, good times. Tank definitely has a deeper bag. Talk to him, Ty. Talk to him, Ty. Talk to him, Ty. The wildest thing is most people don't even realize what Tank actually has in his bag of tools because he rarely puts himself in situations to showcase them, but that doesn't mean he's not there. Talk to him. Talk to him. If he wouldn't have beat, if he was just power, he wouldn't have beat. Not saying Isao Pitbull Cruz is the best, but he's a good fighter. Still one of my favorite fighters to watch. But he wouldn't have beat Isao Pitbull Cruz if he wasn't doing different things. Now, not the shuffle, because the shuffle was a small one. I'm talking about remember there was the big iPod? I think it was a Nano, Mansa Musa. I think it was a Nano. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was an iPod Nano. Yep, that's it. Shout out to Mansa Musa. Yep, that's it right there. The Nano. Yep. Right here. I lost my Nano, bro. My girl at the time was mad, boy. Want to fight me, bro. Because, I think girls, intuition ain't no joke, man. Because I think she knew, not only was it expensive why she was mad, but because when it just came out. Yeah, this one right here, the Nano. Because the Shuffle was like the small thing. Let's see, the iPod Shuffle is a smaller. That's the one that don't even have no screen. Yeah, that's the Shuffle. Yeah, nah, not the Shuffle. It's a Nano. But anyway, yeah, like girl, they just be knowing. Women be knowing. And I know because I grew up in a household full of women. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my mama. I feel like I got strong intuition as well. But I think she was more so mad because she knew I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing in order to lose my iPod. You know what I'm talking about? But that Nano, baby. But David was a king and they treat him like a biatch. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you earn it and it's not given like Barroso. Yep, shout out to Ismael Barroso, man. I didn't like that fight with him and Andy Hiroka, but it had to happen, But yeah, man, shout out to the older fighters, man. They be putting on too, Look at Guillermo Rigondeaux. He just won. He's 44 years old. Well, he's Cuban, so he might be 54 years old. You know how that goes. But he's 44 years old. He just knocked out what's my guy's name in the first round? I can't remember his opponent right now. Danny Aguero, right? Danny Aguero. So shout out to him, and he called out Inoue. Ismael Barroso's putting on, as well. But he did lose to Andy Hiroko, who I would like to see him. And speaking of Rayo, somebody asked me what's next for Rayo. Andy Hiroko and Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Hey, that's a firefight right there. The Carter 3 had that nano, but talk to him. Yes, sir. Had all type of squad up mixtapes. Rigo, a true legend. Yes, sir. The nano changed the game. Yes, it did. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, it did, man. I think I got an iPod shuffle around here in one of my drawers. My drawers. Shit, when that Gucci Mane mixtape dropped, talk to him. So icy. I like that. I see what you did there. Icy mind. Shout out to Gucci. Gucci. Like Pamela Lee and Tamela. What you know about that photo shoot, man? Like Tommy Lee and Pamela getting on that camera. Most that man, not that animal. Gucci ain't no amateur. Come on now. Come on now. What's that Gucci? Like Tommy Lee and Pamela getting on that camera. Most that man, not that animal. Gucci ain't no amateur. He said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust. Amen. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. May God multiply your blessings today and forever. Shout out to my mom, man. I want to be very clear, too, you know. I love discussing boxing, man. And I love conflicting views. Like me and Manza, shout out to Manza, you know, we and him have conflicting views. I mean, I think we have similar views, to be honest. I think we're more in agreement. We're more in concurrence than we are in contrast than when it comes to Bear Rodriguez. I just take the approach of letting it cook and let it, you know, before I put him at number 4 or something, let his resume, let his record and his opposition justify that more. I just want to give him more time. But I do definitely think he's a beast of a fighter. But we have differing views, and I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Me and Ty disagree on AJ, Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So many things. But I'm okay with that. Me and Oscar will disagree on some things. I mean, me and Oscar, we are in agreement quite a bit, but we disagree on some things. Me and Dub, we're not in concurrence when it comes to Canelo and Benavidez, but we have discussions, bro. Like, I don't mind having discussions, open dialogue. In fact, I encourage it, but you're gonna be respectful, dog. You know what I'm saying? What really annoys me is when this is a testament to most people's idiocy, right? They will come in ignorant as hell, incorrect as hell, and try to correct you. Have the audacity to try to correct. They don't say like, well, man, you know, I think such and such and such. They don't say it like in a civil tone, you know what I'm saying? And that's on me too, you know, because I be reading messages with tones. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'm wrong too. But yeah, it's just the internet is just people talk how they want to talk without consequence or repercussion, man. And I don't want to live in a society like that. That's what the internet invites. They invite a society to where people aren't held accountable for their words. You can get slapped in your fucking mouth for your words. And that's how it should always be. If you too soft, you know what I'm saying, to engage in the fisticuffs, so you should shut the fuck up. You should be more conscious and aware of what you're saying in the manner in which you say it. You know, that's just the law of the land. You know what I'm saying? If you're a gazelle, don't roar like a lion, because a lion might come and eat your motherfucking belly out. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to be a gazelle, but just don't act like you a lion when you a gazelle, because I'll fuck you up. So just be respectful, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing, but you know. But if you're gonna correct me, at least be correct. Nah, dog, we agree so much. It looks like you sent me a script. Hey, and you recite it well, my brother. You recite it well. You know. you know. So yeah, man, we definitely agree a lot. But that's because there's nothing wrong with being like-minded. You know, a lot of people agree. You know. But there's going to be some things that we disagree on, and that's okay, bro. I encourage that. I encourage her to, but you're not going to come in here and just say something randomly off, you know, that's not even important or imperative or impactful to the conversation, be off topic and be wrong. No, bro. You know, I'm going to remind you that you're a gazelle, whether it's from a verbal assault or if you want to take it there, you can get a physical assault too. However you want to do it. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Motherfuckers think because you on the internet that's how you live. No, bro. You boxed for 30 years. You got to demonstrate that shit. Whether I win or I lose, it ain't gonna be for a lack of effort. Doc was pissed when I said, yeah, I was. I was. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was. Shout out to Manson. I appreciate you though, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had a discussion about it. You know what I'm saying? You talk your shit. I talk my shit, and we move on. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, we're not gonna agree on everything, bro. Like, I'm not a robot. I'm not here to regurgitate what you think. I'm not here to agree with you. You're not there to agree with me. You know, but we could do so in a civil manner and then move forward amicably. And still disagree, or we could agree. Like, maybe you convince me, I could convince you, but that's not my goal. My goal is to come out here and talk boxing with like-minded people from the reference point that we all like boxing, and that's how we establish fellowship. You know, but people try to come in here, try to push a narrative, or try to get their thoughts across. Like, what they're saying is important. Nobody cares what you're saying, bro. No one cares. I don't know you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, 30 years. Like, what the fuck? Nah, I still beat your ass. All 30 years of your experience. Jake Paul is in fact the face of boxing. He starches everyone that wants to fight the heavyweight. Random like, yeah, man. It's like, bro, yeah, I pray a lot, man. I pray for forgiveness, but yeah, man, I ain't never been no sucker, man. Sometimes people forget they get punched in the mouth. But the internet is dope because it lets people in Arizona, you know, interact with folks in Florida or Jersey or wherever else, Oklahoma, wherever else everybody's located. You know, that's a great thing about the internet, networking capabilities. But the bad thing is that everybody has a voice and they get disrespectful, you know. Just be respectful, bro. Like yesterday I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this, bro. I thought it was funny, but it's kind of like it's annoying too. I want to show you something. So y'all know I picked David Benavidez to win, right? So, you know, I think Benavidez has 60-40. I ain't picking to win, but I think Benavidez has the advantage, right? So on that thing, I want to show y'all this. Look what this person said to me, bro. So on this thing right here, David Benavidez and David Morrell getting heated. I said, David Benavidez looking healthy, ain't it? I just said he's looking healthy, bro. I didn't say he's looking fat. I didn't say he's looking obese. I didn't say he's looking sloppy. I didn't say he's looking unhealthy. I said he's looking healthy, like, because he's looking a little, you know, a little chunky. Like, not that doesn't mean in a bad way, because I think it's going to be good, because I don't think his musculature, like I said, I think David Morrell fits 175 better from a physical standpoint. But David Benavidez is looking healthy. I think he's going to impose his extra weight on him, you know, like a Tyson Fury and a Deontay Wilder, similar like that. He's not that much heavier than him, but similar to that, right? So I said Benavidez looking a bit healthy, though, ain't it? And then this person said, quite healthy indeed. And I just laughed. And then look at this person. This person said, look what this person said to me, bro. He said, Plant and Andrade, 6+, both weighed more than Benavidez, though. What does Plant and Andrade have to do with this? Like, you see, like, people are so, like, their life is so sad, bro. Like, your life is so sad. Like, you're just angry on the internet for no reason. This man said Plant, as in Caleb Plant, and Andrade, as in Demetrius Boo Andrade, 6+, both weighed more than Benavidez, though. What? What does that got to do? He said, stop hating, because Mexicans dominate in big divisions as well. Huh? Now, so I went from so look, all I said was Benavidez is looking a bit healthy. So with that statement, not only am I hating on Benavidez, I'm hating on Mexicans in general. And he brought up Plant and Andrade because they're Americans, and he's bringing up Mexicans because David Benavidez is Mexican. But watch the cherry on top. He said Mexico is in America, bitch boy. So I'm a hating bitch. So I'm a hater, a Mexican hater, and a Mexican hating bitch, boy. So then I responded. I said, yeah. I said, yep. I'm hating on one Hispanic, the Mexican, that's actually American, because if you look up where David Benavidez is from, David Benavidez, chat. David Benavidez. What does that say? Oh, that says Phoenix, Arizona. Not Phoenix, Mexico. And Arizona's not in Mexico. It's in the United States of America. Now, Mexico, which I agree with him, Mexico is in the Americas, South America, North America, Central America. I agree with that part. But the fact that he tried to make it seem like I'm hating on him because he's Mexican, but he's actually American. So if that's the case, you're wrong. Let's keep going. I said, yep, I'm hating on one Hispanic, the Mexican that's actually American, and rooting for the other Hispanic that's Cuban because I'm racist. Just don't kill yourself, bro. I can tell your life sucks. You mad about nothing, bro. Like, but that's what Twitter invites. Twitter invites and social media invites and encourages behavior like that, because there's no way that dude would ever. He wouldn't even breathe around me. He wouldn't even look up or look in my direction or your direction or anybody's direction. He's probably some like I don't, and this is gonna get dark. Hold on, but I want to be very clear when I say I gotta say this very well, because I don't want to be misconstrued. Because mental depression and mental health is a very serious matter, and suicidal activity is a very serious thing and should be taken seriously. And don't wish that on anybody. You know, hopefully you get through that with prayer and stuff like that. But I want to say this too. A lot of people are in positions that they're in, especially from a behavioral standpoint, because of how they treat others. The other day I was talking about people that are content creators and in that content creation space, and other people in walks of life, any walks of life, you know, they will go on their Twitter and deactivate their Twitter, or deactivate their Instagram, or make a statement and say, you know, I'm stepping away from blah, 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 because, you know, people's constant condescension towards me and demeaning talk towards me is bothering me, and their insensitivity towards me is bothering me, and it puts me in a bad spot, and I've been in this spot before, and you know, I need to take a break. That's cool, do that. But it's always the people that are the most sensitive, that want the most sympathy and empathy, that are incapable of showing empathy themselves. Have you ever noticed the people that are the most sensitive to shit talk are the biggest shit talkers? You would think that when people are sensitive, that they would be more aware of the sensitivity of others. But no, they're the most disregarding of other people's feelings and emotions, and they're the most disrespectful. You ever notice that? They're the ones that throw the stone and hide their hand. There's nothing wrong with being, you know what I'm saying, to struggling and stuff like that, especially mentally. But a lot of people that end up hurting themselves and stuff like that is because they act like that. That's why they hurt themselves. They don't have friends because they act like that. They're lonely because they act like that. Because they take something as simple and friendly as if anybody should be mad, it should be David Benavidez. Nobody else should have been mad at that comment. How the heck did I say he's looking healthy turn me into a racist? I didn't even say I was going for David Morrell. And if I was, so what? I didn't even say who I was going for. I literally think that David Benavidez has the advantage. But you want to go to some other place and then wonder why you're sad and nobody likes you, and you're by yourself, and that girl that you liked ain't paying you no attention. You playing you want, because you on here Twitter gang banging. You a blood and crip and a mafioso on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, a couple months later, we gonna hear about this faceless, nameless, worthless, meaningless person. He gonna off himself, and we gonna wonder why. Oh man, I wonder why. Well, because he's an asshole. That's why. That's why. Because he's an asshole. Assholes. they spew a lot of shit out of assholes, but sometimes the asshole gets shitted on too. I don't give those people time of day facts. Sometimes I do respond. I think it's funny, Sadly, that's most boxing fans, bunch of morons. Yes, bunch of morons. And what do morons do? They act moronical. Facts. But he's gonna be like, well, actually, Arizona used to be Mexico, right? Spirit, no excuses, right? Thank you. Spot on. Yes, thank you. And I'm like I said, I'm not being insensitive to people and their plights, because we all go through things. But it's always the people that want the most sympathy offer the least amount of empathy. They don't know how to be empathetic at all, and so that's why they're some good wisdom. I appreciate the irony. Thank you, bro. Yeah, sometimes just be careful who you feel bad for, because you never know what kind of person they are. So when you see somebody crying and talk about the situation that they're in, no, I'm not talking about hardships. Everybody goes through hardships. Good bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people. But what you do in the entirety and the totality of things, usually if you're a good person, more good things happen to you than bad things. If you're a bad person, I like to think that the universe will balance itself and more bad things will happen to the bad person. You know, even if you're winning today, maybe not tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because Thanos got snapped too. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, and we want to take it fictional or reality, however you want to take it. You know, Thanos got his ass snapped too, you know, at the end of the day. So it was good while you were snapping. Now you over there with the sad face because you getting snapped on. Is it Benavidez, Honduran as well? Ecuadorian, if I'm not mistaken, Oscar. If I'm not mistaken, his father, Jose Benavidez Sr., is Mexican, and his mother, who I don't know her name, is Ecuadorian, and he was born in America. So what we want to be funny. If you want to take that same boat that he was trying to put me in, I would really, because of that, I would be going for David Benavidez if it was some type of thing that I was picking aside because of how much I relate to him. I actually relate more to Benavidez than Morrell because while I'm not Mexican or Ecuadorian, I was born in America, first generation American, and my mother's Jamaican and my father's Nigerian. So I would be considered a mixture or a mutt, just like David Benavidez. So if I was going to go for somebody because I feel related to them, it would definitely be for David Benavidez because we're both American and we both have parents that come from different countries. But he said that I'm hating on Mexicans because I said that the American looked healthy. What? I don't think Benavidez can't roll his R. I know I can't. What Ty say? Ty said that girl he liked came to see me talk. That's crazy. Yeah. Ty, get out, Ty. Get out, Ty. You break it up. Come on, bro. Chill. No, come on, man. Y'all keep that out. Come on, man. I don't want no parts, man. That ain't my business, man. I rock with both of y'all or all three of y'all. You know, I could kind of, you know, that's crazy, bro. I don't know what's going on, man. You know, I don't know their situation. I don't know y'all situation. I would like to keep it that way, but shout out to y'all, man. I don't think Benavidez can roll his. I can't roll my R's either. I used to watch Gullah Gullah Island trying to roll the hell out my R's or do the polywalk sound. I can't do it. Yeah, I definitely ain't rolling my R's, but I know some Spanish though. You feel me? One of my closest friends growing up, Puerto Rican, and you know, I used to be over there. You know what I'm saying? They used to be at my house, we'd be at their house, and then of course when I took Spanish in high school and stuff, she would help me out. It was so crazy because he would get in trouble and they would make fun of him, his mom and his dad. Mr. and Mrs. Aponte, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them, man. Mr. and Mrs. Aponte. But anyway, they're from San Juan, Puerto Rico. But anyway, they would make fun of son Daniel because I got a better grade. But I will say, you know, there's different types of Spanish too. You know, like you know, in school they're gonna teach you the proper Spanish from Spain. You know, and everyday talk. You know, he's Puerto Rican household, so he's gonna be Puerto Rican Spanish as opposed to Mexican Spanish, as opposed to Espanol. You know, Spanish from España. You know, so it's a little different. And I will say, I'm not giving him an excuse because he's my homie. But you know, when you're approaching something like you know it, you know, he probably feels like, hey man, I know Spanish. I don't need to practice. I don't need to practice Spanish because I know it. But then when you don't study, and I'm very studious, I will study. When you don't study, then you go into thinking you know something, and then you might miss some point. So I think it was more so not that I knew it better than him, obviously, because he's better speaking than me. But it's just that I approached it as somebody who didn't know it. So I had that desire to learn, and you know what I'm saying. And so I didn't want to do bad. So you know, him coming from it like, you know, I already know this, I don't need to pay attention. Then that kind of puts him at a disadvantage. That's why effort is big. You know, it's effort. You know, a lot of things aren't talent, man. It's effort, man. That's why they say the best ability is availability and stuff. My football coaches always say that. And not just about availability because you're able to play the game, but also your effort and your willingness to go the extra mile. So like, yeah, a lot of things is just effort, bro. Intelligence is a lot of it's just effort, bro. Just like being good at basketball and what they say about defense, a lot of it's just effort, bro. Some of it's ability. Of course, you need to jump high, run fast and stuff. But there's a lot of people that run fast and jump high that don't play defense. And that's 50% of basketball. So if you want to be 50% good, then a large part of that is just having effort, bro. Canelo, mi amigo. Good morning to A. George, the last patron in the building. What's good, brethren? Little bro, cool. He said, little bro. Ain't no way you just, okay. Little bro, cool. But yeah, man, you know what's crazy? I think y'all would be cool. But it's just life, man. That's how life goes. And that's what I say, man. Just because two people are good people don't mean they're going to get along. You know, definitely we see all the time, all bad people don't get along. All good people not going to get along. That don't mean that you're good and you're not good or they're not good. It's just circumstances, man. Circumstances made me what I am. What you know about that Buju Banton? You know what I'm saying? Backside.
Me blood clot.
What you know about that? Circumstances made me what I am. Am I just a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Hard workout plays pure. Talk to him, Oscar. You see, you know. Doc, Canelo, mi amigo, capping. Cap. That's cap. You don't rock with Canelo, man. That's okay. I rock with Canelo enough for all of us.
Eso, sí. Tú vas a mamar el bicho. Tú vas a mamar
Bam, 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 bam. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing funnier than arguing with someone when y'all speaking the same language but not the same dot. Yeah. Facts. Distance in the feet worries me versus Morrell. Yeah. Oh, you so right. We got so many different slang and accents. Yeah, facts. Irony, facts. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? It's just like, to be fair, you know, I know you're Puerto Rican, but for the Americans in the chat that might sound foreign to, it's like me being Jamaican, it's like English, right? All English is not the same. I mean, if you look at how certain words are spelled, you go from American English to England English, or even patois, which is a Jamaican English, right? How many Americans and Englishmen can't understand nothing in patois? I had to tell my girl before at the time, she thought that it was a different language. I said, no, patois is not a different language. It's still English. It's just a different dialect, if you will. You know what I'm saying? English of this native, of this nation, you know what I'm saying? Native country of, that's just the native English in Jamaica. Same with Creole. Creole is French. It's just not France French. It's Haitian French. You know, so if you're not accustomed to it, you're gonna have a difficult time in Port-au-Prince. Even if you speak French, the same French that they speak in Paris, Paris. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be able to get by, but you're gonna struggle a little bit. Just like if you're speaking Manchester English or Liverpool or wherever the hell you at in England, and you go down to Montego Bay or Kingston, you're gonna struggle a little bit. You're gonna get by. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna know enough to get by, but ain't gonna be smooth sailing. But you're going to understand the gist of it, you know. You'll be able to survive for sure. Exactly, like USA, UK, Australia, South Africa. Yeah, facts, exactly. Southpaw angles, exactly. Irony. Southpaw angles, especially DB leaving his hands down, smirk. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie, though, Dub. That's why it's interesting, because I'm not sure. But that pressure different, man. David Benavidez or David Benavidez or El Monstro or Bandera Rojo, excuse me. He has a lot of, that pressure's a beast, man. So, you know, even when, you know, I could see it not quite like Zepeda and Farmer, because number one, Morrell's not as slick as Farmer, and Benavidez is not as active as Zepeda, but they have their own advantages too, because Benavidez is not, you know, Farmer was bigger than Zepeda. Benavidez is not smaller than Morrell, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And Farmer was more slick than Morrell, but Farmer's not as athletic as Morrell either. So there's some contrast there, but there's some similarities in that matchup. But the reason why I bring it up is because Tevin Farmer, he was judicious with his punches, right? He was very choosy with his punches and a little bit inactive, but I think a major reason for that was because how active and how much pressure Zepeda was applying. So same with Benavidez. Like, we all, like, if you watch boxing, which I know you do, Dub, of course, I don't, like, just because you're undefeated doesn't mean you're perfect. It's like Naoya Inoue, right? When I tell people like, oh, Naoya Inoue is such a great boxer. Naoya Inoue has flaws. A lot of boxers have flaws. You know, there's no perfect boxer, but Naoya Inoue has flaws. But can you put yourself in a situation to expose those flaws or capitalize on those flaws? That's very difficult. Like Dave Benavidez, yeah, he keeps his hands down, which is why Ronald Gavriel, is it Ronald Gavriel or Robert Gavriel? Ronald Gavriel, that's why he dropped him, right? Because Benavidez had what? He had his hands down and a little lazy. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't protecting the doghouse. He had them dogs out or low, and he wasn't protecting that chin. And Gavriel dropped him. You know, so Benavidez definitely has openings, but he has that pressure too. And you might not want to throw your hands because you worried about covering up your body. You know what I'm saying? Because of the incoming bombs that are being dropped on you consistently. Ronaldo, thank you. Ronaldo Gavriel, thank you. What I call him? What'd I say? Yeah, I don't know what I said, but yeah. I got the R right. I got the R. Thank you. Yeah, Ronald Gavril. Yeah. Oh, it is Ronald. Okay, appreciate it. Yep, thank you. Yeah, Ronald Gavril. Thank you. Yeah, so he thank you. I appreciate it. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I was talking some shit about something. I lost my. Oh yeah. So it's like, can you capitalize off it? Like David Morrell, I think he can, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, man, because David Benavidez got some pressure. Farmer's left was Reckons or paid his road. Yep, but the same punch selection cost him the fight. Yep. I agree. So yeah, I had Zepeda winning 95-94, but I think it was a great fight, but I thought the right person won. Zepeda just had to be more. Farmer had to be more active. David Morrell, this is a big test. He's been calling for it. He got it. So let's see what he does. And either way, like I said, I think that I know people are going to shit on one, because that's what we do, right? We can't just say, oh, it's a good fight and there was a winner and there was a loser. We got to shit on one. So I know that's going to happen for whoever loses, but whoever loses, man, I think for me, their stock is going to go up. I mean, of course, it depends. If he goes out there and gets mollywopped in 2 rounds, then Benavidez or Morrell, neither one of their stock will go up. But if it's a good fight, hey, man, someone got to win, someone got to lose. So I think their stock is going to go up because, like I said, I see this fight as an unnecessary fight. I see this fight as a risk outweighing the reward fight. And the fact that they're still doing it, love. That's love, man, because they're giving the fans what they want. Because the only reason to justify this fight is a fan-friendly fight. So shout out to Benavidez. And shout out to Morrell. Two young bulls in their prime, willing to mix it up. So hopefully the fight, so hopefully we make it, good Lord willing, to February, and hopefully they reach that date healthy and don't have any injuries or any setbacks, major setbacks that they have to overcome. And we should have a good fight, man. Like I said, and it's crazy that might not even be fight of the night. The fight of the night may be on the undercard, maybe Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. That fight's gonna be good too. That's a rematch right there for Yaz. And Jesus Ramos versus Jason Rosario. Don't sleep on that. I'm not too, and maybe I'm giving Isaac Pitbull Cruz too much credit, or Angel Fierro not enough. But I'm not too. I'm intrigued because, like I said, Isaac Pitbull Cruz is one of my favorite fighters to watch because he's action packed. Somebody's going. Either he going or somebody going. He definitely gonna bring the fight. I just don't think it's going to be too competitive. I think Isaac Pitbull Cruz is going to handle this business. It's going to be exciting, but I don't think it's going to be too competitive. I think he's going to beat Angel Fierro pretty handily. But the other fights, man, I think those fights are bangers, man, in my personal opinion. In boxing, people use a measuring stick that they don't use in any other sport, not even MMA. Right. Talk to them. Right. 126, fire with gasolina. Yep. You know what's insane to me? Why are refs still looking at the ring rather than the screen? We get better angles and we get a better view of the event. That's a good question. But I think because when you say refs, did you mean judges? Did you mean refs or judges? Because depending on what you meant. I think you meant, did you mean refs? If you meant refs, then I would say that the ref has to be in the action, you know what I'm saying? Because he can move in real time faster than the camera. You know what I'm saying? He can, even though we can see different angles, like even in the clinch, he may be able to, he's going to miss some stuff. He or she going to miss some things, that's human error. But I think that the ref has to be in the ring, has to be in there observing. But if you're talking about the judges now, I do agree with you. I think the judge. Oh, you meant judges. Okay, that's what I thought. I don't want to. Okay, yeah, judges. I agree. I think the judges should see a screen. I think judges, in my opinion, they should be looking at a screen as opposed to angle. But at the same time, they do have 3 judges placed in different sides of the ring. So I get it, it should balance out in theory, right? So even if I see something from one way, the other person saw from another way, it should balance out in theory. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they should be on the screen. But then at the same time too, I wouldn't say limited to a screen though. Maybe they have both, like have a screen and have but then at the same time, then that introduces another thing that you can miss because you're going like this. Looking up at the ring, looking down at the screen, or looking to the side of the screen, looking to you know what I'm saying? Like I struggle. I hate watching 2 fights at the same time. Granted, it wouldn't be 2 fights, so it would just be watching 2 different perspectives of the same fight. But
I don't know, man. Ain't no perfect thing about it, man. I'm cool leaving it as it is, but I agree with you. I think they should have a screen, in my personal opinion. If it's the judges, it's for a reason, so they aren't getting the same. Right, exactly, that part, which is what I was saying about, it makes sense in theory that they have different vantage points and different perspectives, so in theory it should balance out. But I do think it'll be more beneficial for the sport of boxing to have a screen. But that's just me. That's just me. But I don't know though. Yeah, I agree with you, Oscar. But yeah, chat, I'm about to go ahead and call him, man. I'm opening up the Discord if anybody wants to join. Anybody wants to be pulled up towards we at the end of the stream now. So anybody wants to join the Discord, man, here's the invitation, the link. I welcome anybody to come and talk. The usual suspect. We got my boy Oscar and Ty. But yeah, if anybody wants to join, you are more than welcome to join. If you this is a time where you could talk about men's different sizes and stuff, I won't engage much, but do your thing. Do your thing, playboy. Do your thing. Open scoring should definitely be pushed, in my opinion. I got Benavidez. Humble says I got Benavidez by a ref stoppage due to that unrelenting. Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it, man. Unrelenting pressure.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that, bro. That pressure is relentless, completely unrelenting. I like that. That's a great way to summarize David Benavidez's pressure. Unrelenting. Facts. I'm not mad at that, bro. Like I said, I don't know. I think it's 60-40 in favor of Benavidez, but as of right now, today, I'm still leaning towards Morrell. But it does suck sometimes when two other judges' view are from one of the fighters' corners. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. That's a fact, man. But yeah, chat, man. Please, also, if you're new to the channel, as a sign right there, the prompt is indicating. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash that bell to turn on notifications as well, so you get notified when I drop YouTube videos and I go live. We drop videos all the time. We go live all the time. So hit that like button as well on the video, please. You know what I'm saying? We go live twice per day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then again 7 p.m. for the late show, the evening show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In addition to that, we provide live boxing commentary for all the fights. Like I said, whether it's in England on Sunday in the afternoon, or it's late night on Saturday in the U.S. and Vegas, or it's in Japan on a Tuesday and 4 o'clock in the morning. We provide live boxing commentary all the time. So it doesn't matter what country, what continent, wherever you're at, we get it. So Ty, you joining? I think I just saw Ty join, but I think he left. I told you my first day here. We're here. Hey, shout out to you, Humble Dragger. I appreciate you, bro. Yep, so please don't forget to hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, if you enjoy the content, man, consider becoming a member, starting at $3 a month. Also, hitting the Cash App, which is spinning on your stream, at the bottom of the screen right there, revolving like spinners in the 99s and 2000s. And or hitting the Super Chat, you know what I'm saying? Like my guy Clone, man. Shout out to my guy Clone for dropping that Super Chat earlier. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate that $5 Super Chat, man. Thank you, sir. Really helps the channel to keep going and growing. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, I think Ty jumped in, but he jumped out. So I'm going to go ahead and slide, chat. I was going to pull Ty up. But I don't know. Ty, let me know if you're getting your phone, if you're getting your stuff together, you're trying to jump in, or that was an accident. I saw you in the background in the green room. Let me know. Had to dip out. Okay, no problem. No problem. I'm going to go get some food. I appreciate you joining or attempting to join. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the stream today, whether we got along or didn't get along, whether we agreed or disagreed. I appreciate the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Some more than others, you know. But yeah, man, y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Remember, most importantly, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.